Oh.
Hello, everyone.
I said the intro video was playing, everyone. So
Yeah.
I know what you expected of.
We were talking
how
about
long it
elves.
was. We were talking
were
about
talking about
elves and
That's
D&D and dwarves and
The Godzilla
Yeah.
warning.
And the Godzilla warning.
Also-
The Godzilla
Anyway.
warning. Prue told us about the Godzilla warning.
Oh, I was refilling my refilling my drink. That's something.
Hello,
you should have
everyone. We're pre-recording, so hello to chat, but
Yes.
also
hi
Yeah.
chat.
I don't know. Don't spend your nitbits this episode.
I was gonna say,
like, don't spend
don't,
your fucking
like-
nitbits this episode. I might even lock
Save
them
them.
away so you
save
don't
them.
accidentally spend them. Yeah, I might.
I'm
throw
gonna
them
be
away.
okay.
Tell
You
you
know
what.
what? If you want, I
Do you
can
wanna
be
do
the
like
one calling for
normal
hydrate.
intro, like
Hydrate.
Hydrate.
like a good evening and welcome back to Chasing Tales bit, or are we kind of just getting past that bit?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do our regular
Let's do
intro.
it as
No.
normal. It's still streaming. It's just not live.
Do you know what I
Right.
will do? I will add a little bit of text that says, "Don't spend your fucking nitbits."
Yeah, good idea.
Welcome everyone.
But carry on, Andrew.
Yeah. All right. There we go. All right, did it.
All right.
Cool. All right.
What?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back here to Chasing Tales. As we have mentioned before, and it is coming up on your screen, we are pre-recording because of inconsistent scheduling and stuff. To bring you this Thursday's episode, we're actually filming this way back on Tuesday, so there'll be plenty of reminders. We might disable them, but do not spend on nitbits. We'll be hydrating ourselves. We'll try to manage without your guidance, but save your nitbits because we won't be playing this live, so we won't see them. Aside from that, while we may not be live, we do want to do our normal thank you to our wonderful friends over at the Cognitive Merchant. People who have dice bags and things, lift them to your cameras. They've been supporting us for a very long time. They are producers of handmade and custom leather items and interest-free and trinkets, dice bags, dice trays, dice cups, LARP gear, things like that that are made from leather. And I believe they still have a sale on their Etsy. So if you're panic buying for Christmas, you can find all of their links over at their website, which is cognitivemerchant.co.uk. Aside from that, does anyone else have any announcements or things? I know this is going to be coming out late, but any other things to plug in that time anyway?
I have a couple of things.
Go for
if
it.
that's okay. Firstly, there's a new source book that's come out very recently on DM's Guild by a wonderful group called Homebrew for Equality, and it's called The Book of Lost Magica, which I worked on. I did some of the flavor writing for it. It is a D&D 5th edition sourcebook with a load of new classes and subclasses and magic items and stat blocks and wonderful, wonderful things. And most importantly, all of the profits made from this book are going to Black Lives Matter charities and to the NAACP. So please, if you would like to, I will be tweeting out links to this book. It is an absolutely wonderful piece with work from writers and illustrators and creators. There's over 90 of us, I believe. It is pay what you want. So please give a, if you can, it would be wonderful to see if you could give a little bit of money to a wonderful cause and get all of this wonderful work that has been worked on like months and months and months ago. And we're so happy that it's come out now because it looks so good. So yes, that's my first thing. And secondly,
insane.
it was very fun.
so
I did the writing on a class called the Apothecary class, obviously, because
Obviously.
but yeah, it is amazing, and everyone there worked so hard, and I'm very happy that it's out now. And secondly, as has just been, well, as we're pre-recording this now, as it's just been announced, I am part of the staff officially of Witch and Craft Games. So yeah, I will be doing things with them in the future. They are an absolutely wonderful indie game development company who have got some really exciting projects going on in the future. So please, if you haven't already, go and check them out on Twitter and on Twitch. They've done wonderful work so far, and it's only going to get bigger from here. So please give Witch and Craft a check out and some love from me for awarding me this position, and from us at Chasing Tales because we love them. But yeah, that's me.
They're so lucky to have nabbed you.
Yeah.
Any more before we delve into recaps and
A game.
I don't think so.
don't
I
think
think
so.
that's it.
I think we need
Alright.
a groupie.
Prudence is just briefly.
I'm just
feeding
gonna
the cat.
say, if you missed it on Monday, if you want to feel a bit festive, we streamed a really fun game of several elves in a big red coat, where we
How many?
did all sorts of debauchery as 3 tiny elves pretending to be Santa for the evening. So if you want some Christmas chaos this December, go watch that because it
We're
was very
talking-
fun.
We're talking like your traditional Christmas Santa's little helper elves here, not
Oh, yeah.
not D&D
Yeah,
elves.
No.
The,
these
the
are
equivalent, probably gnomes.
garden
Like,
gnomes.
yeah,
These are
yeah.
garden gnomes with a penchant for making gifts.
And we had the
True.
lovely Brick Dude / Ben from our Discord server on as a guest because he is best boy and we love him.
He is that
Yes.
boy indeed.
It was absolute carnage to run, and I loved every second of it. So please go check it out. Check out the VOD if you would like a little bit of festive cheer.
Alrighty. Well, without any further ado, previously on
Wait,
Chasing Tails,
I wasn't here for the announcements.
have you got things
Yeah,
to
I'm
say?
not gonna be here after this week, guys. Sorry. I just thought I should let you know as an audience. I'm leaving the Thursday game. I'll still be around, but I just won't be in the Adventures of the Silver Sea. So yeah, I'll just see you around the internet and just bye. Love you.
Alrighty. Previously on Chasing Tails, our little group of adventurers came close to going to deal with a deal once made between Ashura and the hag, the Babbling Sage. But an attack on the city of Maldron drew their attention. The soldiers of Volm invaded to destroy ships in dock, and the Soulguard, amongst others, and the guards and soldiers of Maldron did battle across the dockyards and managed to fend off this danger. But in the dying moments of battle, a desperate archmage of sorts unleashed a powerful magic that cast a swirling black sphere across the docks, which took the life of Maple and spawned a Nightwalker, a tall, 25-foot tall, creeping creature of undeath, into the streets. With Hope's dramatic return, she flew down and banished the creature before it could do any more harm. But Maple was nowhere to be seen. Taking time to grieve and to deal with the immediacy of the situation, the group spent a little more time in Maldron to gather their thoughts before returning home to inform Maple's wife, Marigold. A beautiful ceremony was held, and the group spent another day or so to gather equipment, their thoughts, and their things before making a plan. To travel somewhere to find the diamonds necessary to resurrect Maple, to bring her back, to complete her work, and to spend more time with her friends and loved ones. But this proves to be a difficult task, as to find the diamonds, the group had decided to venture toward the elemental plane of Earth. One of the ways to do that is to head into the Underdark, but Ashura cannot go home until his deal with the Babbling Sage is done. And so they returned to Maldron, and at the very end of last game, attempted some intricate spellcraft to try and manipulate this hag, but it seems, although this hag was aware, or at least was able to defend herself at the last minute from these tricks. And where we left off, you all, the Soulguard, preparing yourself outside this creaky wooden door, stepped inside. The dim, slight glowing orbs bobbing slightly across this root-filled, wet interior of this riverbank. You see at the far back the twisting coil of roots that form the hag's hut within. As you guys are stepping in, I just got a reminder we need to have about character introductions for anyone who is joining us today. Let's do just some very brief who you are, what you look like moments, starting with Hemlock.
Hello, I play Hemlock. She is a half-orc, half-elf druid, circle of spores. She's about 6'1", with long black hair in a braid and a crown of leaves on her head. big Coke bottle glasses, and she walks with a staff to help alleviate a limp that she's had since birth. The staff which was carved by Nute for her.
Ashura.
Ashura is a drow, rather tall, maybe 6'1". He is bald. He's wearing sunglasses at all time, and is a bard, 10-level bard, and 2-level paladin. Finally, 2nd-level paladin. And he's wearing a very long coat of dark blue with gold inlays, and has underneath a silver breastplate that comes to, just a breastplate and ogre gauntlets on his hands, and a beautiful devil sword on his waist. And he's got like tons of scar on his face.
And Markos.
Hello, I'm David. I play Markos Estreva. He's a human man, 30 years old, just under 6 foot, probably 5'10", 5'11". And he's got tan skin, dark black hair, which is normally kept sort of cropped but wavy, a couple inches long, a bit of a beard, and he is a ranger rogue who carries a rifle and is a member of the Addagan 2nd Royal Infantry Gun Scouts. Sneaky shooty boy.
And Maple.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's no, wait, no, that's the second tally. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. Yep. That's the second tally. That's
Okay,
happened.
that's awkward. All right, cool. That was awkward.
Guys, I'm also going to be leaving the game.
No!
No, I'm kidding. No, Marigold is a gnome. She is 3'1". And I'm getting echo from someone.
Same. I can also hear echo, so I don't think it's me.
Maybe
Okay.
Is it me? You think it's me?
I don't know.
Try it now.
It's kind of gone.
Okay.
Is it gone?
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, Marigold is a gnome. She is 3'1". She's very small. And she has white, intricately braided hair on her head. Several little swirling tattoos on her face. And is generally dressed in pastel floral prints with soft leather armor on the top, and she carries a little wand with her and is currently being accompanied by Willow.
And Hope Summerhold.
Hope is 5 foot something, a short 5 foot something.
That too.
Gold skin, platinum head, silver eyed, beautiful, stunningly beautiful. Asimar, half elf. And she's got a cool sword. And right now she's covered in ice. She looks real sick. And like, you have to take my word for it. I have not many descriptive capacities today. But hey, audience, she looks fucking banging.
And Nute.
Hello. Nute is a Duergar monk, about 3'7" in height, quite a stocky build. Really likes punching stuff. Generally goes around wearing quite simple, quite loose-fitting clothing. Has intricate elven tattoos along his body, which sometimes glow hot, like right now.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the top part of the body, old-looking, got quite long white hair, typically pulled back into a ponytail, and a wiry white beard with some flecks of grass intermingled.
Alrighty. As the 6 of you, with your companions of Willow, the Jackalope, and the large white wolf that is Snow, you enter and
Fox and Froggy.
And Uwu Fox and Uwu Froggy, perched and hidden away within pockets to stay safe. There is a slight squelch as your boots hit the wet, sodden ground. Puddles glint the kind of whitish yellow glow from these floating orbs. And you see this twisted hut in front of you. What would you like to do?
Alright, who's entering first?
I literally just knocked. Ashura, I
Yeah.
literally just knocked.
Well, okay, well, you go first. That's right. No, that's fair. That's fair. You go first. I'll go at the back. You know.
I will sneak in at the back and see if I can.
Yes.
If combat starts, catch her unawares.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Oh, no, we have-
Can I keep my stealth check from last session, which was a 40?
That was... No, this is entering a different space.
Okay.
But we
I
still
think I
have
still
Pass Without
have
Trace
Pass
up.
Without Trace up, yeah.
Pass Without Trace is still up. And any spells that you guys cast or prepared is still active.
Yeah.
I have Wild
Okay.
Magic Surge last session, right? So
Yeah.
I'm back down
And I
to
have
one.
spell evil and good on me.
Oh, not bad. That's a 15 on the die, plus 12, plus another 10. It's 37.
You're fairly certain that you remain unseen.
Oh, hey, Markos, there you are.
Nope. No, we don't see him.
And I don't think you've ever seen me.
Yeah.
I guess I've forgotten what Markos looks like. I know it's a weird time to bring it up, but
Right?
Markos. Who's Markos?
While it is strange in this
April
kind of
even never exists.
underground environment, Markos, you find it oddly familiar in the way that it is this kind of like thick, dense vines and foliage among the earth, which is as someone who's trained to move quietly through woodland, you're pretty at home here, and there's plenty of coverage and kind of dangling vines and roots to move between.
It's a bit more mangrovey than I'm used to, but a bit more swampy. But I make it work.
Yeah. So I hope you step in at the front. What are the rest of you guys up to?
I'll follow close behind Hope.
All right.
Yeah, same, pretty much.
I'm gonna be at the back.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna be just in front of Marigold, I guess. Wait, because what's
Yeah.
the entrance order? I guess. Should we have an entrance order?
Should
I
we
feel
line
like-
up?
Should
Yes,
we
do you
line
wanna
up?
line up on the map?
Yeah, like that.
The door
Feel
is
like
just this toppy bit here.
Oh,
I'm very happy with. Well, maybe I'm stood here, but nothing
Yeah.
crazy.
I guess I'll be like back here.
Okay, I'll be. You know what? I'll be by Hope's side because I feel like it's.
Whoa, Marigold and Willow.
Marigold's rushing in.
Okay, they are in the house.
Marigold rushed rat, just sprinting in.
Do you know what? Willow's just so
playing
used to
people.
running in and fighting.
Meg,
That's what
just
it
so
is.
you know, I'm at the front of the party, so you might want to move yourself further back. As in,
I
that's
thought
not
the door
back.
was here.
Is this?
Yeah.
The other way around.
This is the door.
That's the external door that you guys have just come through.
Okay,
We
so
just- we
Hope
just
is
go
at the
through
front.
that. Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I'm
like,
sorry,
good
I got
arrow,
it. I had it back.
Yeah,
And
nice.
that large tree in the center there is this kind of twisted mass of roots and vines that create this
Yeah, I see,
small
I
hut.
see.
Sweet.
And- Okay, and Snow is at the back,
Okay.
and his order for now
Standing on
are
top of Markos.
kill anything that isn't us that comes out of this house. Oof.
Okay. So
That's-
he's
that's-
guarding the door.
Yes, or anything that comes out and can see. I don't know.
Okay.
Wait.
I
The
don't know.
place is quiet. There is a faint dripping of water from somewhere, and you can faintly hear almost like a bubbling, and it's kind of echoing around the whole room itself, which has this almost like this echo of laughter, kind of echoing throughout this dimly lit chamber.
Hello, Ms. Sage? I don't suppose you're in residence this afternoon. We would like to speak with you.
There is a shifting of vines and roots, kind of like almost like pulses from this central tree, and have shivers across the ceiling. Yes, I'm here. And there's like this creaking sound as it almost unfolds and dangles her with vines and roots, grasping hold of her shoulders and back and lowering this twisted, gruesome woman from the ceiling. Her her long fingers and nails that are just chipped and just covered in so much grime and muck. There are sores and cracks and like wet rashes that kind of almost pull out the side of the neck. The saggy hair itself, very little of it hangs, as most of it is trapped in vines and thorns that rise up and are still carrying her from the ceiling. She lowers down in front of you.
You know, that offer for a makeover still stands, my dear. I'd love to get my hands on you.
Yeah.
And what would this makeover entail? And she kind of like reaches out towards you just from a distance, and you begin to feel that familiar creeping cold of like small spots of grime begin to just appear across your armor, bits of your skin.
You know, just mani-pedi, shape those nails down to a nice size, treating some of your wounds, you know, making them a little less fleshy. Fleshy isn't really in season right now. And you know, perhaps a whole new dress. You know, I've got friends that sew.
So was it you playing from afar? And her eyes glassy and wide.
Oh,
kind
I
of
don't
look
know
up
what
at
on
the
earth
rest
you
of
mean.
you.
Playing?
Playing from afar. I mean, I was playing my harp like 100 meters from here, but that's what you're referring to.
She seems to be completely ignoring these idle comments and is just looking beyond the two of you at the front across the rest of the party. You've lost one. The vines kind of twist her body slightly. She kind of curves around all of you, and you see, like, as she's being carried, her form seems to like lag behind almost. Like a bunch of the vines move and her form remains and then kind of shifts and shimmers around in space. So what can I help you with?
I mean, do you do remember me, right? Like I feel like
Yes, I do.
I feel like I lost hair from before that time, so I feel like yeah. So you know that it was like an arrangement between us, right? I feel like you remember that?
Oh, you're having cold feet, aren't you?
Well, I mean, the arrangement was made. I just feel like, do you mind if we maybe, you know, come to an agreement to remove the per se, you know, bounds of this this contract? What do you say?
I'm open to offers. She kind of drifts closer towards you, and as she gets a little closer, you can smell it's a mixture of decay and that slight, like, tangy scent of pus.
Oh, fucking hell, Andrew. Fucking hell. That's disgusting. I'm trying not to puke.
I'll prestidigitate you a nice smell, Ashura, around your head.
Oh, God, fucking hell.
There you go, babe.
As you cast that, there seems to be an equally powerful force creating this other odor in the same space. And it's like
Battling prestidigitation.
you've got like dog shit and roses, and someone's doing this. Like,
Ew!
It's the battle of the prestidigitation.
It's like someone dropped a stink bomb and a bottle of Chanel at the same time.
Look, Miss Sage, consent to a contract obtained when the terms of the contract were not explicitly understood isn't really consent at all. And I'm wondering if perhaps you'd forgive my absolute idiot of a friend here. Like, that's not on you, it's on him for being an absolute moron. Sorry, Ashura. And perhaps you would consider just letting go, you know? Let bygones be bygones. Let him return home.
I feel like it doesn't
Guys,
bring
it's
you
worth a shot, is all I'm thinking.
I know what I'm thinking. I am an idiot. It maybe, you know, it doesn't bring you a lot in the end, right? Like
someone agrees to something, it is on them to understand the terms. He agreed. The deal was struck.
But
Hope raises one elegantly plucked eyebrow like, bitch, no. But she doesn't say anything.
But it felt like the exchange and contract wasn't very fair.
No. You made a bad deal.
Yeah, no, that's
just like, you fucking idiot.
Bear that in mind next time someone offers you something before you agree. Markos. hidden in the
Whilst this
shadows.
conversation is happening, I would like to take full advantage of my 37 stealth to sort of like. I'm assuming this is going on for more than 6 or so seconds. I'd just like to end up like here, if that's okay.
Yeah?
Like nestled kind of in this little bush. Just behind it, like bow at the ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet.
You come like uncomfortably close to this will-o-wisp, which is kind of, they seem to be ever so slightly orbiting the Babbling Sage and occasionally growing a little bit closer to the group, and you just wait for it to pass, and it doesn't seem to notice your presence. However, it does, however it's perceiving its environment, it seems to overlook you, and you get past.
I
take the
time it
position.
like in a stealth game where you've got the guards on patrol. I'd watch it a couple times.
Or
to figure out the pattern.
Filch in Harry Potter 1 in the library. That was some scary shit.
exactly.
That was
Yeah,
terrifying.
it was
Gotta
fucking.
get back to the section.
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
back.
So I watch him do. I watch the wisp do its its laps, and then just sort of like sneak across
Perfect.
when it's
You
furthest
are
from me.
concealed and in position. Are the rest of you guys doing anything? Marigold, Hemlock, Nute. While this hag suspended from the ceiling by this kind of arm of vines and roots is consulting with Ashura and Hope. Is there anything that you guys would like to do? Are you guys content to kind of stand behind and wait?
Yeah, I'm still holding Wrath of Nature, so I'm just continuing to do
Okay.
that.
I'm doing my best to kind of conceal. Like, Hemlock's not a good liar, and I'm doing my best to conceal. Like, when she's like, "Oh, who was it who was playing?" I'm just like biting my lip.
Hemlock's like
and
hiding behind Ashura, just like.
And I'm gonna kind of move a little bit, just like wandering, not trying to make it obvious, just over to here.
Sure. Her eyes for a moment track you and look towards you and narrow slightly with a widening grin that shows you a nest of teeth that are all far too thin and leave gummy gaps between. Though she
Like
makes
an
no effort to stop
anglerfish.
you. Yeah. Markos.
Can I also hold an action so that when it seems like there's no talking anymore and it's going to become a fight, I want to release an arrow and try and get the hag directly in the throat.
Okay, you have a shot prepared.
Sweet.
I guess Nute will sort of, while Hemlock is wandering, also wander just roughly to around like by here, not too much further, and I'd like to hold an action if I can to cast enlarge on myself when it looks like once the fight is about to break out.
Sure. Alrighty. Hope and Ashura, this hag seems to be waiting for you to make some kind of proposition.
Okay, fair, but the deal was bad, so maybe we can come to like rewrite the term of the deal. I think no.
Deal is a commodity. Once made, it is an item of value, and if you wish to change it, you must offer me something in return that is of equal value.
Like what? Go on, spitball.
Yeah,
Bring something to the drawing board.
Brainstorm, come on. We just.
Well, you've all shown good imagination. Ashura, this offer was your idea.
It was pretty bad. We said it already, so we don't have to.
He is an idiot.
Okay, it's fine. I think that time we all understood. You don't have to repeat it.
I'm sorry, baby, I love you. It's all for show. I think you're a genius. She doesn't.
No. In our mind, we have a mental link.
It is on you that have come to me to change the terms. I am here to put no mental acuity towards coming up with a deal for you. If you have a proposition or a request, ask it, and if not, kindly leave. Ashura.
In the room right now, are we just like in French we say que le? It's people one after the other. Are we just like that by the entrance?
In a line?
In a line by the entrance.
You, Hemlock, Nute, and Hope are, yes.
Okay, and are there space to move around in the room?
Yeah, like there are clusters where it's like either puddles go to an unknown depth, and places where vines kind of reach up that kind of create kind of almost pillars within this space, which is about like 10 to 15 feet from floor to ceiling, and most of it.
Yeah. Okay. Ashura will be walking gently as if he's looking around for the something like random thing on the wall as he speaks. So just moving as he speaks. But we could find a better arrangement. Maybe. Oh, that's a weird thing you got over there. Maybe what's worth. My thing is pretty worth it. I feel like your life is pretty worth it too for you. So I feel like could balance it out.
You know so little of the things in which you deal, don't you?
Yeah, no, definitely. Remember, I've just been called by my friend like an idiot. I feel like
Yeah, he is an idiot.
Yeah.
Maybe it shouldn't.
Fair point.
If you wish this deal revoked, then yes. Try convincing my corpse to undo the magic I have woven.
Insight check.
Go for it.
She'd say it's such a pain in the ass because. Okay. Oh my god, yes. I've got a 19 plus 4. That's 23. Oh my god.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it. We're right there.
Beautiful.
The two of you are from such different backgrounds and places and cultures, and yet you share this proclivity for reading people, for playing the game that is wants, desires. She's right in the way that if she needs to undo the magic, she is of great value. But Hope, you narrowing your mind's eye at her words, there is just the slightest twitch in the corner of one of her large glassy eyes that make you think perhaps she's relying on unnerving you in some way and making you doubt yourselves. And she's relying on that. You get the impression that she is lying. She wants to make you guys believe that, or at least doubt yourselves, because then you'll hesitate about just cutting her down. But it seems as if it is a front.
She's actually scared about being killed, essentially.
I think it means like maybe we can kill her and the curse is lifted.
Let's do it.
Okay, but I don't know that. Okay. All right.
What was your roll?
23.
23.
Yeah,
You just do. Okay.
I gave like a knowing look to Hope, like.
Oh shit, the DC was like 22.
She rolled a 21.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Ah, God. So what are we gonna do, huh? No. Oh, you know what? I could. He takes out his sword. It's like, maybe I could give you this sword. What do you think? That's a good idea.
She's gonna make an inside check now.
Yeah. Okay, deception for this shit. All right. Yeah, exactly. In a way.
I've got a whole quiver of arrows for her as well.
Okay, deception plus 11. That's a 30, Andrew. That's a 30. Okay. I just rolled a 19 again.
Okay.
She kind of glances toward both of your weapons, but then glances back up towards you as your tone shifts so greatly. And back to the weapons.
They're pretty good.
lay them on the ground and I'll consider.
Yeah.
Make a persuasion check. With it, or into your choice between.
Because she's going to make that check. Can I just perception scan?
Go for it. Make a perception check.
Okay, David, you gotta shoot. Because we want to.
I mean, if you do some sort of signal, I can probably do it. But I'm just watching and waiting. I got a 23 perception.
23.
Just to see what's.
Okay.
Do proof first.
Her eyes narrow even more. The wide orb-like glassy eyes.
Trying our best.
Kind of squinting, and she seems to recoil slightly, and then there's a shiver in the vines and roots that kind of lift her. As she seems to kind of just be taken aback slightly as she's trying to... Because, like, she looked at Ashura, and his change in attitude was so off-putting that she was kind of like, maybe he's just speaking weird and he's actually offering it. But you seem to be very thinly veiling that this is turning into a threat. And she's like,
who's right here? Wait.
As you take a moment to scan the rest of this space, you see around these floating orbs of light. You see this kind of... Your vision is drawn naturally towards this horrible, grotesque, suspended hag in the center of the room. But as you're scanning carefully, the same way that so many times you've trained to do in scanning across terrain for enemies, the faintest bit of movement catches your eye. Just within a slit of light, a very soft light that is coming between the roots and vines of this central hut, you catch a glimpse of a hand moving, and you focus on that slightly, and it's like you zoom in with your eyes, and you catch what looks like a hand in the midst of some arcane gesture.
Where is that on the map, please?
That's the large tree thing at the bottom right.
That's in here.
That's like that large tree thing is the hut thing.
Oh, it's the hut itself.
Yes.
And I saw movement coming from a crack inside the hut.
Yeah, like they're not like solid four walls. It's like kind of woven walls of vines and roots, and there are like some gaps in it. Some like wider gaps as windows, some like little just slits where light comes through.
Gaps I could fit an arrow into, at speed,
perhaps,
aiming at a target. Because I would like to, seeing that, position myself just sort of a bit closer, such that I can get an angle, and then I'm just going to loose an arrow.
Crazy stealth check, you absolutely can.
And I'm just going to loose an arrow because this isn't going the way we think it is.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll roll initiative, and then the surprise round, which will just be Markos because none of you can see him either. But as he's choosing to release that arrow, Hope, what's happening in front of you?
Oh hell yeah!
Huh. And I would like you now to all roll initiative, as elsewhere there is a.
Does Nute's held action to enlarge go off here?
Yeah, do we do held action before initiative? Because
I would say,
No.
seeing as I was holding an action to shoot, I would say any held actions would go off in a surprise round if we get a surprise round.
They will. You guys will get a surprise round. Yeah, because you guys are like right in front of her. So yeah, those of you with held actions, that will happen in this surprise round.
Okay. Cool.
Because like the trigger is Markos loosing that arrow, and then it'll be into full order.
It's crap
that will-
initiative,
that
but
will be.
Yeah, I know, right? Oof.
I believe your
I
items. are
swear to
always
God,
coming-
David, if you have rolled any more than a 10 and you're saying it's crap initiative,
Got an 8.
I got an 8.
Oosh.
I'm 4 plus 4. It is crap initiative.
I got 6 plus
Okay.
4.
I rolled a 3 plus 1.
Jesus Christ! I rolled a 17 plus 1. I don't like being up at the front like this.
I need to
Also,
get that spear so that I have advantage on initiative. Because with assassinate,
I'm pretty sure that like 30,000 years ago, I gave you that spear.
I don't have it on my character
did.
sheet, so I don't think I have it.
Andrew, I'm not on the turn order.
You're not on the turn order.
I'm not on the
speak.
turn
Right.
order.
Well, David, add it to your character sheet now. It's a spear of warning. Nute was giving it to you at some point. Yes.
8.4.
Also, no. If it's not on your character sheet, my assumption is it's in the armory that you guys have previously taken items
Yep.
in and out of.
I'll
take
stick
an
it.
item,
I'll
put
stick
it
it
on
on
your
my
sheet.
character sheet, but I won't have it attuned. How's that?
Yeah, just don't have it equipped.
I
so you'll
should
remember it.
have it. Apparently.
Should have had it for we should have had it for the last like 4 months, I swear.
I'm pretty certain that he gave you the spear.
Yeah, I seem to remember that, but whatever. We'll sort it out after the session, I guess. Actually.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fucking go.
Sure. You rolled separately for snow.
You're muted, Alex.
You're muted, boy.
That's why I've been talking the entire time. Yeah, no, I've rolled low too,
Alrighty.
and Snow has rolled for himself. Took his giant
Alrighty.
point.
Well, in this surprise round, the Babbling Sage is like raising her eyebrow, and just as you hope are saying to her, like, "We're threatening to kill you," which I still think is warranted because the you and Ashura contrast of him kind of veiling it and you not at all is confusing.
In a cartoon, he would put a ribbon on his sword and be like, "Hey, there you go."
I will say
damn
you
it.
thought you were going to trade your swords at first, and was like, "Wait, shit, that's the plan."
Nute, you've got to give her your sword.
It's like, oh, you were fighting.
Markos,
Hello.
go ahead and roll your attack. You have advantage because you are hidden. You would have
Is she surprised?
a penalty yes.
Mystery person in
Yes,
the
I'll
tree.
sell.
Yeah.
The mystery person in the tree.
Yep. Is surprised.
Is surprised.
I ignore cover because of sharpshooter, so unless it's
Yes.
total cover.
It would be a very hard shot, but because you have sharpshooter, it does surpass this.
That is a 19 on the die, so a total of 29 with Soul Zephyr.
29 hits.
Yeah, it's Babbling Saga. It's just
This
her
is an
and her
automatic crit.
Because
Wait.
Hang on. I am using sharpshooter on this. This is an automatic crit.
So
Sharpshooter
the
doesn't
29
count.
to hit with sharpshooter.
It's a 24 with sharpshooter.
You said 29 before you said that you were using sharpshooter.
Okay, I won't use sharpshooter then.
No,
It's
I'll let you
it's
have it
still-
because the whole thing that you're doing is super in this vein. Make sure you say it
24 then.
before you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
24
sorry.
hits.
I should say before I roll. My bad.
24
24.
hits.
Yep. Okay. So that's a crit. 1d6 plus 4. She's not taken damage yet. But I do get sneak attack.
Might be worth rolling this in roll 20.
Oh no, it's fine. Oops.
He can quick maths.
6, 8,
True.
16, 26. 30.
You get with all these engineers.
30 damage. Is that including all double bits and stuff?
It is. Yep.
Alrighty.
Then second arrow.
Okay.
Does this one still have advantage? Because I'm hidden.
No,
No.
it's the first attack.
Once you have made an attack, you are no longer hidden.
Yeah.
Okay. But at this point I do get Colossus Slayer.
Yes.
So that is a 19
19
with
also hits.
sharpshooter. Cool. No sneak attack, but Colossus Slayer. That is 22 points of damage.
22. Ow, she says.
Oh my god. It's her real
He's-
buddy.
All of you in this kind of this tense moment of conversation, waiting for this hag's responses, you see Hope and Ashura getting more and more threatening. There is a elsewhere in the cavern, and immediately all of the will-o-wisps flare in brightness, and the vines and roots flinch and curl and twist. The hag that's suspended in front of all of you curl up and like they grasp at their side, and then their glassy eyes look in panic around towards all of you and catch sight of Markos. Those of you with held actions, they go off. Nute, you begin to bolster in size, your glowing tattoos stretching over your expanding skin.
Big boy!
It is time to become
Marigold.
himbo.
You had Wrath of Nature prepared.
I do.
What does that do?
So
Oh shit.
Marigold will raise her wand towards the hag in front of us, and will cast the Roots and Vines version. So she sort of releases this magic from her wand, and it curls up into all the vines. And she needs to make a Strength saving throw.
Okay. So you're casting this at the hag that's directly in front of you.
Yes.
As you do so, the vines and roots reach up out of the floor and lash out towards her, and they seem to pass straight through this
She's an illusion.
illusory duplicate that
The
is
real
suspended from
ones
this
in
year.
there.
Knew it. I
And they
knew it.
wrap
Yeah.
around themselves and create like this blender of thorns and squeezing vines, and
Thorn blender.
seem to just kind of drift and clip through this illusory figure. I think that spell is now
That's
active.
one of my 5th level fucking spell slots gone. Brilliant.
Yeah, but we all know now that she was an illusion.
Yeah, just aim at the ouchies, and you'll be alright. Just
Is
where
that
the
spell
ouchies came from.
like a thing that then maintains and you can use, or is that a one and done
It's,
thing?
It's a concentration spell.
But it's yeah, so I guess I could recast it in a different area, but like move
Cool.
the area. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have a little gander at it. Were there any other held actions? I don't believe there were.
Nope.
Alrighty, with
That
that,
was it, yeah.
we find ourselves.
Andrew, I guess you will need to, if you can, make Nute.
Oh, I can make Nute big. Hold on.
Make him a big boy.
Big boy.
Big boy!
Nute, motherfucker.
With that, it is the Babbling Sage's turn. This illusory duplicate glances down towards the roots and vines that are swirling in its place, and it looks towards each of you. Let's start off with. Yeah, let's start there. Yeah, we'll start with that. She immediately glances towards you, Marigold, for trying to manipulate her space against her. This duplicate points a hand out towards you, and you feel cold. It's just like the bad odor that pervades this place begin to seep into you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Wait, no, she needs to roll an attack, and then you need to make saves.
That is how you play the game.
She'll probably hit me. I have 12 AC.
Oh,
You can roll it.
honey.
Nah.
She did roll a 2 though.
Ooh, but she has +10.
No, she has no. She doesn't. The duplicate slashes out a hand towards you, and you see like a glowing green energy begin to flare within it as it reaches towards you, and you duck out of the way just slightly, and it like reels back. Still, kind of the illusion itself being disrupted by these tearing vines in place. Where you look back there, so it moves towards you and slashes out to you, but misses. With that, she doesn't have any of those things yet. Okay. With that, it is the layer action.
Yeah.
Immediately, the vines begin to like plunge down. They reach into the earth itself, and you see the bubbling puddles and pools that dot this space begin to gush and gout. There's of this thick mud and water that seems to be filling up, and the water level goes from light puddles up to 3, 4, 5 foot deep. And all of you now are like, the vast majority of you can like just about can keep your toes on the ground. Marigold, you are swimming. You and Willow are both like paddling in space as the depth of water increases to 5 feet. There are still like 5 feet above you guys. This chamber is about 10 feet to 15 feet maximum height, so there is still space to breathe and stuff. But that is that for now. Snow, currently told to guard outside Ashura. What do you think he's up to?
Just,
He's sitting around?
I think he's just checking out the place, just looking around and just making sure that nothing outside of the party comes out. And if yes, he's gonna bite it or do something. I don't know.
So like hold like a bite attack if something tries to leave.
Yeah, I think that's
Perfect. With that, Hemlock, it is your turn. You're kind of paddling in place now, your staff in hand. What would you like to do?
With my passive perception, was I able to see Markos shooting into the tree?
Yes.
Okay. I am gonna cast Wrath of Nature as well. I'm gonna have to cast it with my 6th level slot because I'm out of 5th levels because of guess. But I'm gonna cast the trees element of it. So can whatever is in there make a dexterity saving throw?
Which you can try. Wait, where are you actually? You're there. What's the distance on this? Okay. Dexterity saving throw coming up.
Yep.
She got a 21.
She succeeds. Yep. Nothing happens on a success. So that's my fucking 6th level wasted. And then I'm going to as a bonus action. Sorry. I'm not used to being this early in combat. I'm going to no, I'm not gonna do anything for now. I'm gonna stay where I am.
Alrighty. With that, the glowing lights that flared in brightness as Markos loosed that first arrow immediately begin beelining towards each of you.
For clarification, sorry, I am still concentrating on Wrath of Nature because I think I can make her remake it if she's still within 10 feet of the tree, so I'm still concentrating on Wrath of Nature.
Perfect. This will also going to come towards Hope on that side, one towards Ashura, and then this one is going to go towards you, Hemlock. And each make shot attacks towards you. So for Hemlock, this is 12 to hit.
Misses.
For Ashura, it is a natural 20.
Misses.
Ashura, you take 19 points of lightning damage.
Oh,
I'm the tank, guys. I'm here.
Hope that's an 11 to hit you.
Well, that misses.
These lights kind of streak towards each of you and begin to crackle, and like a white shard of lightning goes out. Most of you manage to dodge to one side, but sure, it strikes you square in the chest, and your like vision goes white for a brief moment. Nute, freshly grown, now splashing in the water, your feet still firmly planted on the sodden ground beneath. What would you like to do?
alrighty. 2 quick questions. One.
Yes.
I'm aware that this Babbling Sage is an illusion because I saw the whole stuff go straight through. Would I have an idea where the actual?
At this point, Markos.
I would have stood up
think so.
and just
Yeah.
been like, so you would
Markos
have seen
is
me
now,
stand up and fire an arrow.
Yeah, Markos is.
And I fully cast towards the tree.
Yeah, you've seen action going on towards the tree. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Second question: what is the movement in water?
Your movement is halved unless you have a swimming speed.
Okay, so now I have one last follow-up, which is very dumb, but could work.
Okay.
So one of the monk things that Nute has is unarmored movement improved, which is I can move along vertical surfaces and across liquids on my turn without falling during the move.
You are already in the liquid.
Yes. So is it possible for me to like fucking ninja flip like ninja kick off this wall behind to get up out onto the surface of the water and use that to like kickstart the movement to
If
run
you
over
weren't
towards this
enlarged-
tree.
If you weren't enlarged, I'd say that you could try, but because you are now like 8 feet tall, the ceiling is not high enough.
Mate, you are fucking huge, to be fair.
Like you're
7'9".
massive. Like the ceiling is almost at your head, so there's not much room to like get on top of it and then get dash from the incredible thing across.
So, Andrew, you said earlier that the hut is like 10 feet tall, so there's 5 feet of water, 5 feet of air.
Yeah, at some points it's a little bit higher, but it's roughly 10 feet.
Yep,
definitely
okay,
higher at
great.
most points.
I need that on my go also, that's why I was clarifying.
Cool.
Thank you.
Damn it!
What are you up to, Nute?
I don't have 60 feet of movement in one turn.
There are
Not
will-o-wisps
yet.
around you, this illusion thing that seems
Yeah,
to be doing
this
stuff.
the
What are you up
illusion
to?
has tried to cast spells, Jordan. I will put it out there. It has been doing attacks.
Yeah, but Newt also saw the spell just go straight through it,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, if a spell went through it, my fist's probably gonna do the same thing.
Nute is you're standing here trying to think of what
That's
to
my
do.
assumption.
Time's clicking. What are you up
Newt's
to?
gonna, I'm gonna use a bonus action to dash with
Okay.
a key point, and I'm gonna run up to this tree, and
Mhm.
I am just going to try and punch into the tree
Okay.
to like,
Yes, King.
get to what's inside.
Go ahead and make it roll an attack.
Yeah. That is an 18.
18 definitely hits the hut. Go ahead and roll some damage to see if you can get a nice hole going through it.
Hell yeah. That's 1d8, 1d4. That is what was that? 9 bludgeoning damage.
9, wasn't it? You strike your big fist through and it splinters through some of the vines, and you can see through it this very, very tight little den. Almost like a nest of vines and just muck, and a small cauldron above like a bubbling pool of hot mud, and a small table and like a dangling, like spitting lantern. And in here, kind of curled up in this nest, you see a diminutive original of this hag, kind of there curling, who's like immediately backs up into just as you punch through.
Okay. Am I able to reach a hand in, or do I need to punch a bigger hole?
I'd say you need to punch a bigger hole.
Alright, I'm gonna punch the tree again.
Go for it.
That's like 22 to hit.
20, yeah, you hit the tree. Go and roll some more damage. Markos, you're up
Ah.
next. Battle whip.
That
I am
is
indeed.
13 bludgeoning
13?
damage this time.
You now make a nice, like, enlarged, Nuted fist-sized hole, like this big, in this tree, and you can see nice and clearly inside this little den.
Newt peeks his head up to the hole and just goes, "Here's Newt."
God damn it.
Fucking horrible, mate.
Oh god.
Bonus action, 2 attacks. What?
That is, yeah, that's my turn.
Alright. At the end of your turn, she will use a legendary action.
Oh no.
Ew.
I need Markos to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, I would love to.
I assume you know this by now, Andrew, but do let me know if anything she's ever doing as a spell.
Yes, I will.
8.
8.
Ooh.
Sorry, 11. It's a 9, not a
11.
6.
Okay. Newt, as you punch through, you see she seems to be like her eyes are like darting around, but you should be seeing the inside of the hut, but you can see elsewhere the duplicate is glancing around the cavern as well. She reaches a small, like, oddly, like, horribly emaciated and skinny arm towards Markos. And there's a small, like, sucking of light which kind of passes through the cavern. Markos, you are blinded until the end of your next turn.
Whoop.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
That's fair.
And with that,
mean,
it is
it's
your
not
go.
fine.
Let's shoot random.
I was gonna Hunter's Mark, but that's a creature I can see. I'm gonna be like, so I'm roughly still facing in her direction. I know roughly where she was. I'm still gonna take 2 shots at her at disadvantage. I'm not gonna sharpshoot
Okay.
at either of these, but I'm taking
Okay.
2 shots at disadvantage. It's a natural 20 and an 11, so 21.
21 does hit.
Okay, and then I'll just roll the attack for the other one as well.
Go for it.
That one is a 13, so that's a miss, I'm assuming.
13 misses, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 1 hit. She's already taken damage.
She has.
She's within 5 feet of an ally.
She
Technically,
isn't really. She on the map she kind of is, but even though you're big, Nute, you are in range of her, but she is like pushed up the back of this thing, and obviously she's a bit more than 5 feet away.
Okay, so she's not threatened by an ally. Okay. That's fine.
Not threatening, Nute.
This is
How
just
is a giant noob shoving my face into the
Basic
broken
and
tree? Not
shot
threatening. It's like I've seen it before.
Yeah, this is only gonna be a 12 damage here.
Alrighty.
Oh crap, I've been forgetting the 1d6 force damage from Soul Zephyr.
So,
17.
17, alrighty.
I didn't roll that on the first round, oh no.
Getting used to the new toy.
Don't worry, I used to forget it as well.
You focus and you close your eyes and just keeping that same position. You loose an arrow. One of them strikes and just kind of splinters off into and gets caught in the vines. The second one, there is another and the vines and kind of pools around this place kind of flinch one more time as the arrow seems to strike true.
Cool. And then as my movement and bonus action, I'm going to dive under this bush and fully submerge myself and just get muddy.
Okay.
And do a bonus action hide. So, stealth check.
Nice.
Go for it.
Special op.
20. 30.
20. You are fairly confident you're hidden from...
Sorry, 21.
You're still fairly confident that you're hidden from anyone around.
Cool.
At the end of your turn, she will use another legendary action. I need... Let's say... Ashura. Could you make a charisma saving throw, please?
Oh!
Give me a second, because I need to recheck the spell I have on me. Which is the spell? No, that's it. Cool. No, nothing. So yeah, charisma check.
Saving throw.
Saving throw. That's a nat 20, Andrew. That's a nat 20. I'm not...
What does that add up to? Because your charisma save is obviously really high.
Yeah, but no, not that much. Because I'm not... it's 7, so that's 27.
27. Yeah, you for a moment you're trying to think of the words to say to match the situation, trying to conjure up what your next move will be, your next spell to cast, and you feel your throat get quite sore for a second. But you focus on the words you're going to say, and you no. All right, the plan is yours, and you do not lose your voice. With that, Hope, it is your turn. You've seen Nute punching at this tree and tearing through.
Is being under 5 foot of water affecting my ability to cast spells? Because I'm 5'2"?
No, you can still get your head above water to speak and breathe, so you are fine to cast spells.
Cool. Holy shit. So, Hope brings a beacon in front of her and lays, and like she's holding it like the blade flat up in front of her, and she lays a hand on the flat of the blade, and then like in front of her carves an imaginary line, and there's this small trail of like radiant light, and then projected in huge form is a 10-foot tall wall of light, 10-foot tall, 60-foot long, going like this. I believe that's 60 feet.
Oh.
That's 50. I'm gonna leave it 50 because I can choose. And it is now, the room is now lit with bright light, 120 feet radius from this, probably the whole room.
The entire room, easily, yeah.
Yeah. I need anything in that line to make a con save.
She will make a con save.
DC 17.
She rolled. The paint on my die numbers are really faded. That is a 6.
Okay. She takes 14 radiant damage and is blinded for a minute. I'm gonna leave this wall up for now. It can be up for a whole minute. And then I'm going to use my sorcery points to quicken spell a gold flame blade on the will-o-wisp next to me. I'm gonna try slash it with gold fire.
Is it a saving throw or an attack?
It's an attack. I'm just reopening the spell.
Nice.
I believe it's to hit. Oh, they haven't written next to it. Just a number. Yeah, it's just a spell attack roll, right, guys?
Yes.
Cool. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Jordan.
Yes,
A nat 20. So
Go ahead and double some damage.
So that is. Oh, sorry. That is 4d6 2d8. So the Will-O-Wisp takes 13 fire damage, and I believe it can jump. I don't think it can jump to anyone, but I will just see. And the target suffers the weapon attack's normal effect. And I can choose it to leap to a different creature of your choice you can see within 5 feet. Is that within 5 feet of me or the spell?
I think it's the person you hit.
I think it's the person I hit as well.
Yeah, there's nothing around.
So I think, do I also do the melee damage?
I think you roll the melee damage as well. Yeah.
Okay, so then it's also this much slashing damage. 16.
16.
Damn.
It's pretty good.
Damn, indeed.
Wait, it's Green Blade is 48.
It's because I critted, babe. Oh, I critted.
Yeah, add another d10.
Oh, yo. Sorry, I've never critted with this before. Another 2 slashing damage to the Will-O-Wisp, maybe.
You carve this wall of light which just illuminates the entire place, and Nute, you can see as you kind of shield your eyes at from within. The whole place seems to be recoiling from the light. Every vine, root, leaf seems to be pulling back away from it, and it sends this really strange, like, you know, when there's like a light in a pool and it's kind of dark, and then you turn like the light on in a pool and you can see all like the dirt and stuff in the water. It's like that, and you can just see how this dirty water just absorbs this kind of brown light across the room. And almost like an offhand, as you finish the spell, Hope, you swing it up, and this Will-O-Wisp just carves in half and explodes in a crackling of lightning and radiant like energy was going to go off to one side, and that Will-O-Wisp is dead.
Noise.
Damn.
I do have movement, but I'm not going to use it. I just had a final question. Are spells cast through Beacon Wild Magic Surge? Should I roll?
No.
Okay. Nice.
Of your god being like, hit.
She is going to, after the end of your turn, because a lot of damage has been dealt to her and she's unhappy, going to use her last legendary action for the turn. And you see the last 2 remaining Will-O-Wisps that are still there, they have flared up in brightness as combat began, and it's like they immediately get drained and suddenly dim ever so slightly.
Oh yeah. That's
Healing.
sick.
Healing.
That's so cool, guys.
Alright.
See, sharpen up the Will-O-Wisps.
Are they gone?
No, they both just seem to kind of dim and wane slightly in place. With that, Ashura, it is your go, and Marigold, you're up next. What would you like to do?
Quick question. Well, okay, so there's Big Boy Nute at the entrance
Big Boy
of the
Nute.
tree.
Mm-hmm.
At the entrance of the tree. Okay, cool. So he's like trying to open the tree trunk, right? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm breaking the shit open.
Cool. Ashura will put back his sword on his belt and try to touch the Will-O-Wisp in front of him by using Dispel Evil and Good and Dismissal, so trying to basically bamf it away
Okay.
back very well.
It's
gonna be hard.
making a save, right?
Yeah, no,
you
I'm rolling
have to
for it.
make you have to make a melee hit, and then if you hit, it has to make a save.
Okay.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's it. But so that's not gonna roll for Will-O-Wisp. That's a 15.
15 to hit.
Yeah.
It seems to be far too flitty and darting around in place, and you reach out forward, it doesn't quite land.
That's fair. It's like, get out of my. Okay. Nute, can you get? Yeah.
No, get out.
Nute, can you be faster, please? Just open this trunk, please. And this is my
I'm
bardic
working on it.
inspiration. Bardic inspiration on you, buddy.
Bardic inspiration.
Aw. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I mean it's not. I mean it's the best.
Is it a D10?
It's a D10. Yeah. Datson. And I might move myself. No, I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna be like that. Yeah. Stay in the range of the fucking Will-O-Wisp.
Alright.
That's that. Cool.
Yeah, that's it. Alrighty, is that the end of your turn?
Yes, it is.
Alrighty, Marigold. You kind of grit your teeth in frustration as this illusion seems to have taken the first lashings of your spell, but your spell is still within your hands. You still feel the power kind of surging through you.
Yeah, I checked Wrath of Nature. You cast it in an area, I can't move it, so
Okay.
there's no fucking point. I'm gonna drop am I gonna drop concentration?
I mean, only do it if you're planning to a different one, right?
To be fair, the
Yeah.
area is an area of 60 feet.
Yeah.
So it's a 60-foot
Radius.
area. It's a 60-foot cube.
I think I will probably drop it because I don't want to get in anyone else's way.
Okay.
Oh no, it's only enemies.
Wrath
though.
of Nature also only targets enemies. It's a fucking good spell.
Okay, so this place is not a very big.
Yeah, it could have
layers.
hit like the real one if
Yeah.
I'd cast it on the
like-
illusion one.
Meg, this is
It's
literally like the
fucking
size
big.
of the square that you're looking at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. In that case, I will keep it up, and I'm assuming she's in it. It's 60-foot square, and I just tried to hit the ghost one. So
So will she have been hit by that the first time as well?
she will have done, yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna retroactively do that
Yeah,
damage
no,
because
like ignore it. It's been
stuff.
a whole round. It
Yeah.
doesn't fucking matter. But she'll
But
have to
she's
make
the dex
another
save.
strength save.
strength saving throw. All right.
Yeah.
Which, if
because
she is
it's,
if she's still blinded and this counts as something she has to use visually, she automatically fails.
I've got a funny feeling
blind-
pulling yourself out of vines wrapping around you is non-visual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I can get out of bed while closing my eyes. I feel like it's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
she did roll
Actually, drink tea with them as
a
well.
20
Ugh.
on that.
Oh,
Fuck.
she's strong.
More lucky than strong.
The hag has the
But-
lucky feet.
But she's becoming
Okay,
more and more complete. Like she is hemmed inside her little den now. Her door is like half bashed in. Nute is there with a big hole, and she is very trapped inside this little box.
Okay, in that case, I am going to use my bonus action
Mm-hmm.
to do the thing that I haven't done yet, and I'm very excited. I am going to. Oh, give me 1 sec. I have to check something. Yeah. So I am going to activate one of my spirit totems.
What?
So this has an aura of 30 feet. So I'm going to place it where the most people are right now. So like here.
Okay.
Gonna place it here.
I'll keep
Gonna
pinging it for
put-
you.
A thing. It's a little fairy. There isn't a fairy there. It's just
Not
gonna
a
be there
fairy.
to-
But I am going to summon. This persists for 1 minute or until I am incapacitated. But I do this with my bonus action. So not Maple. Fucking I
You
that
did
one.
it.
Marigold
God.
again like waves her wand,
Okay.
and a spirit of a fox will appear in the center. And this is the equivalent of the hawk spirit. So if you are in that spirit's aura, every time you make an attack, I can use my reaction to grant advantage to you. And also, you have advantage on perception checks.
Sick.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. Is Willow up to anything, or is he still just paddling in place?
I think. Oh God, can Willow swim?
He can keep himself afloat.
If anything,
okay,
he's
but
a,
I'm asking if he can move.
he's a big boy. He can probably stand on his hind
He can
legs.
move. He can move at half speed.
Okay, in that case, I will
That's
just
the
like
same as on the-
shuffle us both over to like here.
Can you make it not yellow, Andrew? I know I'm being picky, but there's already quite a few yellow things on the map as well. Like the will-o-wisps
Also,
are yellow.
Think about the colorblind
It's a
people.
30. It's a 13-foot aura, not a 60-foot aura.
That is
a
30
30
radius.
aura.
Is that 30?
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
It's a pretty small den here. What color would you like the face spirit to be, Maggie?
Make it.
Like orange?
I don't know,
Green?
like yeah, green. Let's make it green.
green. Okay, let's give you. a
That way
nice
it
green one.
blends in a bit nicer, and like you can
Yeah.
see it if you're looking for it, but it's not too intense.
Let's go for that one.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's
That's
one
a
looks
fox.
like an adult nitwit spirit in the middle of the hut.
Aww.
Yeah, he's kind of like dancing around, kind of halfway up in the water, and the light is beaming out across and around all of you. You feel the presence of this creature.
God, I bet it actually looks dead pretty in here, apart from it being really dirty.
Yeah, like it's
Like it must look so much like night lights, you know, that you have as a kid. Oh,
like if it were clean water, this would be beautiful.
right. Guys are casting prestidigitation for the next 100 turns.
Purify water.
It's becoming a nightclub, I swear.
As we hit the top of the initiative order, it's her turn again. She regains her legendary actions. Take a moment to consider your plans and things while the DM pops to the bathroom.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
So what happened with the spirit thing?
I just put it in the chat. So Marigold casts like a spirit totem. We have advantage on perception checks, and she can give us advantage on attack rolls.
But as a
I
reaction,
will-
so be careful.
Yeah,
Don't
it's only one of
don't be
us.
greedy for Maggie's resources.
Yes.
I will
the
paste
plans-
the like things.
All right, so plans, just so you'll know.
Mhm.
I'm fucking grabbing this hag out of a hut.
Um,
And, my
as
plan
long-
is
Fill it with
to
arrows.
drag her out and just hold her in the middle of everybody.
As
Hold
lo-
her
as long
underwater.
as she stays,
Do it, please.
Well, as long as she stays within 10 feet of the tree, every top of my turn, I can keep making her make dexterity saving
Oh,
throws.
Nute, by the way, if you grab her out the beam of light and then just hold her back in it on the end of her turn, she has to take out 48 damage at the end of every turn if she ends her turn in it.
Oh my god.
Okay,
It just
okay.
stays in the light.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna pull her
wall
out
of
the
light,
tree,
hokey cokey.
and then I'm just gonna put her in by there instead.
Yeah,
Could
so
you-
she gets
could you-
entangled.
Out of the tree, within 10 feet of the tree, and still
Yeah.
in the wall of light.
Yeah,
You
sick.
could like pin her against the tree here,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Ooh.
then she's
I
like-
also want to say, if you get the killing blow and it doesn't look like you necessarily need to do something non-lethally, it would be cool to do it non-lethally, because I think it'd be nice to actually go up to her dying body and be like, do you want to trade? And if she's like, no, kill me, we're like, alright then. Deuces. But if you want to kill her, please be my guest.
Alrighty, as the fox spirit illuminates the chamber, and you all kind of feel that fey energy begin to sharpen your
It
eyes ever so
tickles.
slightly. Speaking of eyes, she is blind.
It serves her right. She did that to me.
You can see.
True.
Yeah, when she did
Now
it to
we're
you, I was like,
She did
damn.
do it to you, yeah. Does she make it save at the end of each of her turns?
I will double check, but I'm 99% sure you're correct.
Thank you. And does she continue to take damage?
If she ends her turn in there,
She ends her turn in there, alright.
yeah.
Let's see. She is going to.
It just says she's blinded for a minute. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's perfectly fine. Let's go for a 20-foot radius on that.
Oh no.
Okay, yeah, let's go for that. She kind of in a panic is going to try and push past her own door, which I'll make her make a check for because Nute is like half blocking the door itself. Roll a 17, that's good enough. She pushes out, stumbling, still blind, out of her hut, and brings her arms up, and there's like creepy crawly bugs, millipedes, earwigs, all with wings, begin to fly and flitter and fill a good chunk of the space. I'm gonna use a spider because it's bug-like. These icons are just for aura purposes. More auras. I won't make this one visible to you guys to stop from cluttering up your screens.
Thank you.
But I would like Nute, Ashura, Hope, Marigold, and Willow all make Constitution saving throws, please.
A dirty 20.
I can do that. That's not a
You're
lot.
fine.
Shit. It's not-
Sorcerer in it,
That's a 10 for me.
babe.
Okie dokie.
Marigold got a dirty 20.
Nice.
Willow got a 13.
Oh,
Okay.
dear.
That is and Nute
Nute.
is muted.
Down here.
Nute is
Sorry.
muted.
I get advantage on the saving throw because of Mage Slayer. Whenever someone casts a spell within 5 feet of me, I get advantage on it.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I always get to punch as a reaction. The fool. So the save, it's still not great. It was con, right?
Yeah.
Con, yeah.
That's a 15.
15 just makes it. If you got a 15 or higher, you take half of that. So 17 if you failed. If you got 15 or higher, you
8.
take
Sure.
8
I'll
points
take
of piercing damage. If you got less, you take 17 points of piercing damage as these insects begin to swarm in the air
Hey,
above the
guys.
water.
Guys, Willow took 17 damage and is still up.
Let's go,
Hell
people,
yeah.
let's go.
Oh, whoops.
Yes,
That's
boy.
For
That's
once in his
dodgy.
life.
Hold on.
Guys, I understood
she's
why
amazing.
I'm the new tank. You know why? I take all the damage.
Mew, what just happened to your
Hold
health?
on, hold on. I misclicked. It's fine. I went
How
to
much
put, I went to put -9, and I think I screwed it up and fat fingered and pressed a bunch of buttons, and it just came out as like -9 health instead of taking away 9. I was like,
Oh.
Your health is
well,
-9.
I am
No,
also
you're
going to try and
making-
punch the hag.
Go for it. Make an attack. She's blinded. I think does that mean you have advantage?
Does that give
You
advantage?
have advantage. You have an advantage against it.
Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage.
Go for it.
Hell yeah! Wow, that is a 23 to punch.
23 definitely hits. Roll some damage.
Hell yeah! So that's going to be 7 plus 4, 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
11 points of bludgeoning damage. We're here.
It's like the bugs come out. It's all like a bit of a swat, and he comes around, and as he's swatting, just fucking bat elbow.
As the elbow like collides with her blinded head, and she kind of reels back and just gasps out. She lets out this kind of bubbling scream. Her head slightly below the water, and it seems to penetrate your mind. And Ashura, being that close to her as well, you hear this scream come out from this horrible, grotesque woman. I need both of you to make charisma saving throws.
Oh.
She uses her reaction to use staggering scream.
Stop.
So the
Fine.
things I need to know is it does it count as a
This is not
spell?
No.
Does it count as a charm or paralysis effect?
Nope.
No, 'cause I would have
Oh, not
advantage
paralysis.
too.
That's nice for you, George.
Yeah.
Love that. Oof. What saving throw was it?
Charisma.
It's charisma.
Charisma.
That's an 8.
8. Ashura, you're fine at that far away. The sound doesn't quite penetrate you, but Nute, you do take 4 points of psychic damage.
Oh god.
Oh, meh rolls.
My brain juice.
Just ever a tiny bit of brain juice, but you do get a good whack into her.
Coming out of the ear.
Listening to that scream, the layer itself begins to respond, trying to push away into this light
Oh.
that is pushing it back, and it is recoiling from. I need all of you to make strength saving throws, please.
No.
Everybody, as the
No.
roots all up and around begin to. These are magical plants. you have some
Zero!
advantage.
This is
Oh,
magical
Rihanna.
plants. Oh my god.
This is magical plants.
Magical plants! Oh my god! Finally!
It's con, Andrew.
Strength. As all of the vines are kind of like reaching out through the water, like sneaking water snakes trying to grasp around you.
23.
Yeah, third 19 in the game. This is insane.
Look at the little
Yeah.
casters.
Who got a 6, a 9, and a 0.
Oh, to be maple
yeah,
right
shit.
now.
I have Gauntlets of Ogre Strength on. I forgot about that. I was like, how the fuck is my strength save plus 8?
Alrighty, the DC is 15, like most things related to this lady. If you got a 15 or higher, you're fine. If you got less than that, you are restrained. If you could put a little icon on your
Yes, of course.
thingies to show
Well-
that.
What little icon are we using, lads? For some consistency.
Yeah, like a little bondage icon or something. There's like a
A
net.
little bondage icon.
the heart in the
Net.
chain. The heart in the chain. Oh, the net.
That is
The net.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
the
the
net
heart
is
in
good.
the
I think the net
The
is
net. Let's do
good.
the net.
the net, yeah.
Oh, bondage.
Wait, so Andrew, is
Uh,
the water still there?
The water is all still there.
Oh my god. So we have half movement, right?
Glub
Water.
glub glub glub
Yes.
glub.
Unless
You
you're
are
restrained, in which
restrained
case you can't
until
move.
initiative count 20 on the next turn, or you can use your action to break out of it early if you want. That is the layer action with that snow. Ashura, is he doing the same thing, holding to make sure nothing leaves?
I am.
Alrighty.
He is here for that. He is being a good.
Righty. This is 30 feet. You're just out, you're fine. Hemlock, it is your go. What would you like to do?
Okay. Question.
Hello?
This thing here, right next to me, is that a tree?
That is like a nexus of roots and vines that create almost like a pillar that connects the horrible matted ceiling to the now water-filled floor.
So it's not a tree.
No.
Okay, never mind.
It's lots of tree. It's lots of tree matter, so it kind of counts ish.
Okay. So in that case, at the top of my turn, both the Will-O-Wisp and the Babbling Sage need to make dexterity saving throws, as being within 5 feet of trees in my little cube.
Perfect. So this is a dex save, you say?
Dex save.
Will-O-Wisp's dex save is an 18.
Succeeds.
Sage's dex save is... I rolled a 6, so that's a 12.
Failed. She takes... Give me just a second to make sure I've got it right. Yep. 18 points of
18 points.
of slashing damage.
Slashing.
As the branches whip her very hard.
The branches of her own hut bend to your will and lash out to her blind form as she's like stumbling out, splashing through the water. And for a brief moment, she seems to go limp. At which point, the Will-O-Wisp next to you blinks out completely. And she kind of coughs, and you see as she like goes limp for a second, coughs, and there's almost like a blast of whitish light that comes out of her glassy eyes and mouth as some kind of life seems to instantaneously reanimate her ever so briefly.
And that was just a thing that happens at the top of my turn. I've still got my stuff to go. So for my action, I'm going to look at this hallucinatory illusion between me and Hope. I'm going to cast a spell magic on it.
Go for it.
I'm just going to cast it at base 3rd level.
Go ahead and roll a wisdom check for me.
Ooh.
It's just a check, right?
Yes.
23.
23, yeah. You reach up towards this thing, and it's...
Oh,
the
it's a
magic that
level
you
24
feel...
spell. Sorry.
The magic that you find yourself pushing your consciousness towards to disassemble and to tear apart is strange. It's different. It's not arcane or natural magic in the way that you know it, but you manage to hack your way through it, and you wrench that weave apart, and the illusion itself vanishes from sight as well.
Wonderful. And then I don't really have any bonus actions right now, and I'm all tied up, so I'm just going to stay where I am.
Alrighty, there's only one Will-O-Wisp left, and it will make a little spark out towards... it's going to actually leave Ashura's... No, it'll move around Ashura until it's in range of Nute, and will zap out towards you, Nute.
Do it.
Overall on attack against you. That is a 16 to hit you.
No.
Zap! And you like dodge to one side. Lightning, that's your theme.
It was.
And you dodge out of the way of that itself. With that, Nute, it is your go. As you start your turn, I've been forgetting this a little bit. As you start your turn within 30 feet and seeing the hag's true form, I need you to make a wisdom save.
Oh yeah, go.
Oh shit, yeah.
God, do you remember when I summoned the fucking sea hag when we were fighting the one? And she kept fucking scaring everyone.
That was so funny. Everybody got so scared.
I'm assuming this isn't against illusions, charmed, or paralysis.
No, none of the above.
Damn.
Are you scared?
What kind of save was it? Charisma. Wisdom.
Lads, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't matter what kind of save it is, I rolled a 2.
Oh.
You are frightened for a minute.
Yeah.
You have disadvantage on attacks and ability checks while in line of sight. You cannot move willingly towards you're already in range, that's fine. Yes, you can make the save again at the end of each of your turns.
I got you.
Okay.
Yes, that is the case.
I still get my turn now. Right?
Yes, you have your turn, but you are frightened.
Brian doesn't say anything that I can't grapple.
You can grapple and punch and do all this stuff. You'll just have disadvantage while doing so.
Because you're in range already.
Because I am enlarged, that would usually give me advantage on athletics, but like on
Cool. It would be a straight roll.
strength-based
Then.
checks. So straight roll.
She's
I'ma
also
try and-
blind.
Actually, I would like to use my reaction
Oh.
to give him advantage with Spirit Totem.
Ooh.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
so I get advantage on this grapple after all.
Go for it.
Hell yeah! Thanks, Maggie.
Balance.
Nute gives a terrified but appreciative wink towards Marigold.
That's a very funny image.
That's a 25.
25.
Hell yeah. She got a 17. But you managed to like grasp hold of her kind of her slippery, almost fish-like skin in the water, and you grab hold and you're just
pretty
pretty confident
shredded,
that
though.
she's not going anywhere.
17 for the hag. And
Nute, Nute in a scared state is like, I don't want to look at this hag, so he's gonna pick her up and shove her into the wall of light by here.
Oh hell yeah!
Just shove her into the wall.
You just like ram her back into her like the splintered wall of her hut back into the light.
So outside of the tree, just so it's
Outside of
easy
the tree?
to see
Perfect.
Yeah.
in my mind, and just holding her inside the light, basically.
Hell yeah. Is that the end of your go?
That is only technically one attack action.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
You know it. I'm gonna punch again. Wait.
Eyes half closed.
Disadvantage.
So disadvantage because frightened, but is the hag still blind?
She is still
Yeah,
blind.
advantage because she's blind.
So a straight roll.
Okay. Oh, there's so many different advantages and
Yeah, man,
disadvantages
this
going
is-
on at once.
A lot of stuff.
That's
all
a
layered on
20,
top of each other.
23 to hit.
23 definitely hits. Roll some damage.
So that'll be 6 plus 4. That's 10 bludgeoning damage.
How much was that? 10.
10 bludgeoning damage. Yeah.
Ow. She like is blind. You shove her back into the light, and your fist kind of vanishes from sight as it disappears into that wall of light, and you feel it connect with her head.
I'm gonna say Nute, in panic, just keeps punching. So I'm gonna use a bonus action to flurry blows and just go for 2 more punches.
Go for it. Roll attacks.
I love the image of this terrified, huge Nute just like
One of those was only a 10, but the other one was like a 22.
10 misses, 10 hits.
10 misses, 10 hits? Whoa!
Second one hits.
Okay, I'm gonna roll for 10 attacks then. Okay, that's 5 plus 4. That is 9 bludgeoning damage on the second one.
9 bludgeoning damage. You feel the body go limp in your big hand as you're just like pounding. For a second, you're like, but then as the whisper behind you vanishes, the final one, and this, if not for the wall of light, this place would go dark. But her body kind of reanimates one final time with this kind of burst of like rabid feral energy. She's like scratching and pulling away at your hand.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
Anything else for your turn? Is that you're done?
That is my turn.
Alrighty, you end your turn still within the area of bugs. Could you make a little con save for me?
Yeah, sure thing.
nothing personnel,
No.
kid.
Does Mage Slayer still apply here? Essentially, the bachelor saving throws against spells cast by a creature within 5 feet of you.
I'm gonna say yeah. Nothing of that wording implies that it's only the first time, or if it's ongoing, it doesn't.
yeah.
This was a spell cast within 5 feet of you.
Con save, that's a 21.
21, you're good. You'll take. I'll just have the number of dice. Ooh, this time good rolls. 14
Ow.
points of piercing damage as these bugs continue to zap you.
Howie.
And with
Hit me.
with that,
Oh,
she will use a legendary action
Oh.
to. She kind of reaches a clawed hand out towards the wall of light and seems to grasp away, and it's like pulling at bed sheets. You see it begin to crease and pull, and she just flings out a section of light, and there's like a chill of cold that follows it as another will-o-wisp is pulled and summoned. Find a.
Oh,
I'm a
did you
little-
fuck?
And she summons another will-o-wisp.
Whoa.
Can I find where I put the image for those? Probably not. That's fine. It doesn't matter until its turn anyway. When did I make this map? A billion years ago. Markos, it is your turn next. So while this will-o-wisp spawns in, what would you like to do?
Am I still blind? No, I don't think I am. I think it ran out.
You are not blind. You are now no longer blind.
Sweet. I'm gonna stand up then.
You are no longer blind.
Because I was prone in the water, in the mud for a few seconds there. Stealthing. So I'm gonna stealthily stand up, keep my hide behind the bush, and I'm gonna Hunter's Mark the hag.
Go for it.
My bonus action. So she's been Hunter's Marked. And then I'm gonna 2 shots with Sharpshooter.
Are you not blind anymore?
Go
Sorry.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It ran out. It was only for 1 round. So the first shot, this is with Sharpshooter, is a 21 to hit. The second one is a 23 to hit.
23
so
also hit. Both those hit.
First one is 1d6 Soul Zephyr, 2d6 Soul Zephyr. Sneak attack, right? Because Nute's grabbed her. I got advantage anyway, so yes, sneak attack.
Yes. All of the above.
Okay, and Colossus Slayer.
Oh boy.
dear.
I think that other will-o-wisp might be disappearing very soon.
So that's 12, 16, 17, 21, 34 points of damage on the first arrow.
Before this ball of light can coalesce into one of these will-o-wisps and spread its strange ethereal wings, it is immediately. It's like. You know when you pour like liquid nitrogen on a surface and it kind of rolls and evaporates and vanishes? It's like that. It kind of bursts out of this wall of light, skitters across the top of this kind of churning dirty water, and then vanishes as her body goes limp, and then comes back up again. But you have a second attack.
I do
with
indeed,
advantage
and it did
else.
hit. It did hit because I rolled both of them.
So go ahead and roll some damage.
So this one I don't get sneak attack, but I do get everything else, right?
I believe so.
And this one was also sharpshooter. Oops. And this one is 21.
21.
Ooh.
The second arrow, as this kind of will-o-wisp vanishes, as whatever vitality is drawn from it recharges her. You send the second arrow through, and just as she's beginning to
Wait, hang on, sorry, I forgot Hunter's Mark on that. 27. I was just looking at the dice and I'm like, no, there's one missing.
The
My
final
bad.
arrow sinks into this wall of light, and Nute, you can feel there's a jolt of pain within this figure. Markos, would you like to teleport to her?
Oh shit!
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, would you? Okay.
Oh,
Inside the wall
I'll
of
say you can be
light.
next to the wall of light. He's still within 5 feet of her. You appear next to Nute for the first time. You feel this strange speeding rush of wind past you.
Can I be standing on Nute's big arm?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Hell
I
yes.
love the idea
you
that
can be.
he would have ridden the hag down, but because Nute's carrying them, the teleportation, it's like a physics glitch in a game, but they don't really know how to resolve it. He just goes.
Yeah, you absolutely this room is super well lit, but there are super long shadows, and as you teleport on top of Nute, you see this kind of super well lit side of Markos, and then darkness as the rest of the room fades away. Arrow is kind of sticking out from inside the clavicle, and she's in that kind of 0 hit point, unconscious, but she is on. If you wished to spare her life in this moment, you could, or if not, you can. How would you like to do this? At your discretion.
Arrow goes straight through her throat and she just dies. And I teleport up onto Nute's shoulder and I'm like, well. and that was that, I suppose.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm making this lethal. I'm not fucking with this hag.
Fair enough.
Alrighty. The arrow passes through, and then the second it does, and there's that kind of half second where you teleport and you are standing on Nute's arm. The vines and bits of plant life, the water itself immediately begins to die down.
Thank
Clear
goodness.
and
I
lower.
thought Marigold was gonna drown for realsies, guys.
All of the vines and stuff that are outside of their wrath of nature. The ones within remain kind of standing, but wait kind of idly waiting for Marigold and Hemlock's command.
Just these floating vines and a slightly swaying tree.
Angry tree.
Angry tree.
Angry tree.
As
Yes.
the rest of these vine things die down and the water begins to recede, the hag herself slumps into a puddle and just unceremoniously slumps into the ground. There is like a... You know how when you burn paper, but no flame cuts across it, it just blackens and then a glow kind of shimmers across it? A similar kind of mottled glow of like darkish green and purple begins to emanate from where her body lies.
I'm letting go.
It like snakes across the water and the dirt and the vines and everything around it in all directions, and flickers and twists. You can almost see within it shadows of hands reaching out, and then begins to dim and like shimmer and then fade and dim a little more. But after a few seconds, this kind of burst of strange magic grasping out towards the area around her fades, and the chamber is quiet aside from all of you.
She dead?
I think so. Here, Nute, sorry, let me get down. I'm down. That was unusual. This bow is strange.
It's your first time.
First time teleporting, yes. Well, to a bow. Through a bow.
Ashura, do you feel any different?
Well, I'm kind of getting zapped, and it's kind of better now, but I'm still. Apart from that, no. Apart from the weird lighting thing, apart from that, I feel the same. It's not like I had a specific feeling of like I can't go back home, and now it's gone. No, I feel the same.
Andrew, could I do a quick little perception check just around to see if there's any suspicious remnants of the hag that might be sneaking around the corner?
Go ahead and make a perception check
'Cause
with
Nute-
advantage.
I would also
Have
like to make a
advantage.
perception check. And what I'm doing with mine, Andrew, the reason I'm calling mine, because it's different to Nute's, I'm looking for a very specific staff in the vicinity.
Go for it. Make a perception check. You have advantage as the Fey Fox spirit is still active from Marigold's totem.
I only got a 15 on mine, lads.
I also got a 15 on
Oh,
mine.
nice.
Newt,
I mean,
you
her
don't
DC
see-
was 15, so if she hit shit, she probably
Never
got a
know.
15 for hiding things.
Newt, you don't see anything moving aside from the faintly shifting vines and trees and roots that Marigold and Hemlock have taken control of. Hope, are you dropping the wall of light? Are you like looking around the cabin
No, I'm
itself?
going to walk. I'm going to walk towards her hut.
Her hut is almost entirely swallowed in the wall of light.
Yeah, I know.
Cool.
I'm going so that there's a light source in the hut, a bright light source, and I'm gonna look in this like gorgeously lit, disgusting room.
Hell yeah. As you kind of get in, there is a sound of like gross like slopping, and as you kind of get in and find yourself in this really, really well lit, tiny little den, this nest, you see the roof above almost like ascends up and is lined with small creeping like finger-like roots and things, and you can see them all beginning to like loosen and just drop and lower. And it's
Seeing everything falling out, I will drop the wall and I will step into the room, and I'm gonna just do a like,
Sure.
trying to pick things up so they don't smash if things are valuable that are falling.
The ceiling is like it's divulging. It's like she had like several storerooms worth of crap in the ceiling.
Oh damn. Maybe I won't step into the room.
Maybe
Hope gets crushed
It's
by
like-
falling knickknacks.
It's kind of like a toothy mawed creature slowly vomiting, like covered in muck and filth and kind of gooey, muddy water. And you do find a staff that is quite familiar,
I'm
drops and clatters to the ground.
going to pull it out of the pile, and I'm going to turn and face the gang. And I'm going to press to digitate it clean and hold it out in my hands and be like, well, Curse is gone, probably. Hemlock, I believe this is yours.
I'll kind of like push all the vines off from where I was all tied up, and I'll kind of walk over to meet Hope, and I'll take it in my other hand, and she's doing a little bit of a happy cry, because the last time she gave this was when she didn't know whether her dad was alive or not, and now he's fine. I'll give that, and just do a big happy cry.
Hope
And then you
will
see
give you
kind
a
of
big
the-
huggo buggo if
Yeah.
you want one.
I'll give a big huggo back, and then you notice that Hemlock's kind of looking over towards the hag's hut, and kind of says, "You know, there's going to be some cool stuff in there, right?"
Yeah.
She's got a slightly morbid grin on her face.
And some of that cool stuff probably does belong to the people of Maldron, but
Yes.
you
yes.
probably do get first dibs.
Yay! It's like a kid on Christmas.
Hemlock, there's also a hag buddy here if you want to. pick
Oh.
up. Yeah.
Just Rihanna going, oh,
Wait.
yeah.
Hold on, I have an idea. Are we heading back to Yale Hall after this first? We're making a quick pit stop. Oh no.
I mean,
I thought
maybe.
we were just heading straight away.
Well, the thing
We
is,
we can stop in Maldron tonight if you like.
it's on.
I think we should
Yeah.
deliver the good news to the people of Maldron ourselves.
Yeah, think about all the people we've let free from killing her.
Mm.
So many people dumb as me that got entwined with this horrible woman.
So, Marigold, are you liking the Soulguard so far?
And we did one thing.
Well, I've not had a chance to flex that in a while, so that was nice.
I'll make my
Oh,
my
awesome.
my Guardian of Nature tree offer, or my Wrath of Nature tree offer Marigold's Wrath of Nature vines a high five.
Yes.
Well, if we're here and there's tons of shit, I might put. Yeah, I'll do that. And he puts his goggles and casts detect magic,
Yeah.
Alrighty. As you guys prepare to begin
looting the place.
investigating the remains of
Looting.
this, looting this hag's lair, and the rest of you consider going into Maldron or Yelan Hall or your next steps, we will take our little break there. We're going to hop off and get some drinks and stuff. This is pre-recorded and streamed, I guess, so we'll be back in half an hour. So
Yep.
go get your drinks and some snacks.
Yeah,
take
I'll chuck a half-hour break in the edited video for you all.
But, like,
so
the
if you need to
same
go
time-
snack, go
But
snack.
on Saturday.
We
Perfect.
can't tell you what time we'll be back because it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. But what if the end of the world happens tomorrow? What happens?
I guess they
Then-
will see the stream on Thursday. Like,
Unlucky, you know.
Yes,
they
we're
don't-
talking to no.
Yeah,
Is that it?
we're talking to each other, man. Come on.
No, I don't want to play with you, dude.
I get it, but
I get it.
all right, we're gonna go for a break.
Wow.
You guys are gonna get a break. We'll see you back here in whenever our wonderful editor sticks the break and
Cool.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
we'll break.
Just have
Bye.
to keep chatting.
Oh, you know, we're on. I just don't like coming on with no sound.
Hello.
It's
Yeah.
weird. That's why I got everyone to. Andrew nailed it.
Yeah, follow my lead, guys. Welcome back to Chasing Tails. We're
Ow.
gonna get back to playing
Hi.
D&D, where we.
Hi.
Okay, we're done with the haze. now.
Hi.
God damn it.
Everybody, just cut him every time.
You guys want to do loot? Yeah.
Hey.
Loot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
let's
loot?
do some
Okay,
fucking
yeah.
loot.
Get some loot. All right.
Dude.
And I just want to hop in and say that Merlin has been under my desk for the past half an hour trying to eat my Achilles tendons.
That's
So I
bad.
apologize.
Go ahead, Merlin.
Thank you, Merlin. Please don't hurt Rihanna. We like them very much.
Eat
Gonna
them.
become like Greek. Who is the one who shoots Achilles through the heel? I can't remember.
I don't know,
Which is-
Agamemnon or someone. I don't fucking know. One of them.
Something.
One of that guy.
Agamemnon is the king of
Yeah,
Greece.
it's
Right.
his son. What's his
Um,
name again?
Is it Paris?
Aeneas.
pretty
And
much.
It's Paris.
No,
It's
no,
Paris.
Aeneas is
It's
Troy
Paris.
later. It is Paris, isn't it? Yeah.
My cat is Paris, and I am Achilles mourning the death
Paris.
of the death
Paris!
of my lover.
Paris with Apollo being like, one sec. Like Paris wasn't gonna hit right, and Apollo is like,
Yeah.
I got you, bro.
I'm mourning the death of my definitely not lover, Patroclus, right now. It's very sad.
Mhm.
And I definitely wasn't
Totally.
in big love with him and having gay sex every night. That definitely isn't how isn't
Just
what
really
happened.
good friends, you know.
Yeah.
Just such good friends.
Just so.
It was a very deep friendship.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway.
Anyway, we're gonna play some D&D.
Yeah.
Where we left off, the Soulguard stormed into and briefly confronted the Babbling Sage, the hag with whom Ashura has made a deal, along with countless others. And it seemed although she was bluffing to some degree. The necessity of her life to undo the deals was discovered, and starting the fight off with a sneaky shoot the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain-esque shot from Soul Zephyr, the group fairly quickly wore down the Babbling Sage, and eventually her body now lies in an unceremonious pile in the wet, sodden, muddy ground of this underground hollow. Ashura, as you cast Detect Magic, and you and Hemlock head over towards this hut to start rifling through things with your father's staff once again in hand, what are the rest of you guys up to?
Can I spend 1 minute to recover my arrows?
Yes, of course.
Thanks.
Good idea.
I'm gonna say the arrow in the Wall of Light is probably fried, bro.
Oh,
Wall of Light does 48 damage to anything like in it.
Yeah, it's screwed. I get 1 arrow back in this case.
I'm sorry. I fucked you on that one.
Most of you have dark vision, not all of you do. I'm assuming you just cast light on to give yourself a bit of...
I have 2 copies of the spell Light. So everyone can
One in
fucking
each
have
hand.
some.
Still no, because you concentration. No, it's not. I don't think it is.
Lights not concentration.
No,
Right.
I didn't.
Dancing lights is.
In which
Yeah.
case, Hemlock and Ashura, if you guys would like to make investigation checks, I'm going to say with advantage, because I think the fox thing assists with this as well. And you're helping each other, and you have Detect Magic
Yeah.
up. There's
Yeah,
plenty
like-
of things to help you out here.
Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good.
It's cocked.
I think
Natural
we're-
20.
Oh
Ooh.
shit, let's do it.
Nice.
19
Every-
and
Piece of loot.
I'm in my element. I'm in the hag hut. This is where I
You are
belong.
in a hag lair, and
True.
you've already seen the inside of this hut, where you scryed on her, or used clairvoyance, before, and peered into this
Yeah.
hut. You see what would be very, very well hidden drawers, and like it's almost like some of these roots have like knots in them, where there are cavities for things, and you kind of like pull through some of these, and your hands are filthy, but you pull through some of them and you gather Hemlock. I'm going to say just write down stash of hag ingredients.
Okay.
And
sick.
I will let you use that as a bit of a voucher for the next time you're potion brewing.
Hell
and want to-
yeah!
like, if you can justify to me a good hag style ingredient and how you want to turn it into a spell, that's what that item in your inventory will
Nice.
do. There are things like human eyes. You find like a tongue, unsure of what from. All manners of strange beetles and vials of strange ichors and
Lots of humanoid hair. That's always a
Lots
hag
of-
classic that's just gross.
there's like a skull, but it's made of teeth. It's made of teeth, or like
I was like, it's
wired
fine. Oh, no.
together.
Yucko.
Oh
Yucko,
my
yucko,
God.
yucko.
Why?
Yeah. You also find, among other things, a beautiful teapot. It's filthy, but it is a gorgeous white
Hello.
porcelain teapot painted with gold and silver and green, kind of vines with green.
I'm gonna like bring it over to Hope to get her to prestidigitate it. So it's all clean.
It is slightly chipped just at the spout, and there's a crack in the handle where you can see it's been fixed together.
Give it to me for a minute, and I will. While you're reading through the other stuff, I'll cast mending on it for you.
Yeah.
A beautiful teapot. It's probably worth quite a lot, but it like. Hope you're from Addagan. This is like an old style of Addagani
It's an
decoration.
antique, baby.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in antiques. I'm only interested in modern fashions. You can have it back, Hemlock.
Addagan teak.
Markos.
That's good.
With the help of both of your keen eyes, especially Ashura, your dark vision in this, even with some light on it, is still quite dingy. You catch a glint of light, and kind of hooked on like was one of these finger-like roots of this strange moor above you. You find what looks to be a wedding ring, a silver band with a green emerald. As a wedding ring with an emerald worth 400 gold pieces.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
We're gonna.
Any name on it?
Are we gonna have to return the teapot? We're gonna have to give the teapot back.
Hemlock, we
After
should certainly try. It's
Okay.
quite old. There's nothing guaranteeing its owner is even still alive.
I mean, what we can
Maybe.
do is, I mean, yes, how old was the? Well, I mean, that's not a good question, but you know, what we can do is go to Maldarin and maybe you know, ask.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm gonna backtrack what I just said. As one of the few neutral members of the party, I don't give a fuck, guys. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I mean,
But I will
prefer
remind the rest
getting-
of you, a lot of you are good alignments. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, I am as well.
Trying to be better. I'm trying to be.
I'm good alignment. I just got too excited by tea.
Oh,
Additionally,
it's so cute.
there are a few more things.
Mm-hmm.
There's this wedding ring. There is, you can see like the broken pieces of wood painted with gold, but a bit kind of rotted away. But still attached to it is like the canvas of what was a framed painting that is
Oh,
broken,
wow.
but still kind of flopping about, with what looks like a beautiful oil portrait
Of a
that is-
family where the little girl has lilac white hair cut into a bob, and the dad is clearly some Nordic guy that likes sewing. No? It's not a crossover
it-
episode?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's hard to make out what it is. You can see the
Got like fucking Mama Push Rock coming out of the wall.
You can see like the upper torsos of what look to be two masculine-ish figures in very fine Addagan dress, but where the faces are, rot has eaten the canvas and paint, and it is spoiled and ruined.
Ugh.
Okay.
There is
not
also
Not worth anything.
a thin, not quite silk, but a very thin blue sash, like a shoulder sash that appears quite dirty but pretty much intact. And there is also some armor. You have like it's a little ways up this kind of chute, and only Ashura's detect magic really highlights it. But as you like reach up and pull it down, some vines crack and give way, and it looks to be a piece of breastplate armor. The metal is not exposed; it is covered with black leather. It kind of comes up almost to a point in front of the collarbone, and kind of attached to it is a mask, like a face mask, that seems to have almost like gills down the side of it.
Wow.
So, Andrew, quick question.
Yes.
The portrait and the
The portrait and teapot and the wedding ring all appear to be mundane. The sash and this piece of armor both appear to be magic in some way.
Thank you very much.
New proper sash.
No, as soon as the sash comes up as magical, Nute is like, no, hold on, no one wear that yet.
Nute, I
Last
dare
time went
you.
very
Nute, put it
badly.
on. Put it on. I dare you to put it on.
You don't.
What happened last time you wore it back?
Last time I did go blind, and we don't have Slate here to fix it, so I'm a bit hesitant.
Well, I mean, the city of Maldron is like less than an hour's walk away. We
Yeah,
can go
but
there
like
and
this
find
is
a
also
priest.
in a
or-
hag's hut. What
Wait.
if I just like turn into a frog?
Yeah.
Wait, I can just find it what it does, you know?
Check
Yeah,
the armor.
Oh,
That
do
looks
that.
cool.
yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah, the armor as well.
I'll start
Thank
with
you,
the,
sure.
it's not the armor, right? It's just the mask that is magical.
The mask is
Interesting.
part of the armor.
Cool.
It is
It's like
the armor
connected.
piece. Yeah.
I will start identifying the armor.
And sash?
Yeah, both, but like
One answer, yeah.
In
The
this,
armor
this
first.
20 minutes, what are the rest of you guys up to?
I would like to just. I want what do I want to do? Ignore me. Someone else go.
Nute is gonna go over to Hemlock and help us sort through all of the random hag items that she's recently acquired.
It's gross. You see something like
Yeah.
you know Hemlock has a bit of an iron stomach for this kind of thing. You find yourself holding onto your lunch a little bit with some of the stuff that's there.
Like it's
I think you'll find no
just
one
about.
had to eat lunch today because everyone ate a good berry. So
Oh
You're
yeah.
holding onto your good berries. Wait a minute. Sure.
Oh dear.
The muted boy.
You were talking about the painting, but
Oh,
like since it's rotted away, it's not worth anything, right?
It probably not.
You-
It's spoiled.
well, because you're doing the identify. What I was going to do is,
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
do.
was just-
I do want to look at the painting. I've not forgotten the painting. Is what I'm trying to say.
Go ahead.
Is because like I would maybe even recognize a house's crest if they've got one on their armor, being like the socialite of Addagan. But what I want to do, so this is why I didn't know what I want to do, because I'm gonna go hang out with fucking Marigold. Oh no, I've still left it as maple on the goddamn overlay. I've only just clocked. Your picture's been Maple's picture this whole time. It said Marigold. It has said Marigold the whole time, at least. So while I'm talking to you, I will change that. So how are you holding up? Are you doing all right? You didn't seem to take a single lick of damage in that. You're jolly good at looking after yourself.
No, I tend to stay at the back of various things. I tend to be more used.
Same
distance
girl,
away rather
same. Completely agree. Ashura dives right in there and gets knocked down like half the time. It's ridiculous. Don't worry, we can have a gossip about him while he's identifying. He won't be listening. Oh, don't worry, I'm not always this mean either, just to Ashura. You're wonderful. Thank you for your help. I love your little fox. I love your little fox. It's so beautiful. And I will get our
Yes,
little
it was,
nitwit
it was one of the-
and show Marigold. Like, Marigold has met Nitwit, but, like, you know. I will bring our baby into the conversation, Andrew, if he wishes to join in.
He like it scrunches his nose up immediately at the smell of this place.
Oh, sweetie, you're so dirty. I'm so sorry. I didn't even think to prestidigitate you. And I will prestidigitate him because I assume he fits in a 5-foot cube.
He does, and like his
Hell
fur all
yeah.
sticks up on him and he goes fluffy and like gives it a bit of a shake and just kind of he leans into the head scritches and then kind of coils up in your hands and then pocket and kind of goes back licking his fur back down.
Aww.
Beauty. Yes, it was one of the things I learned when I went on what I suppose you would call my first adventure.
Oh wow, where did you go on adventures to? You see, because I have somebody that teaches me magic, but he is not of this plane. How about you?
Well, I wasn't of this plane either. I came to find
Goodness,
out.
you're an Asimar too. You don't have the coloration at all. I would not have guessed.
No, I'm not an Asimar. It wasn't of the celestial plane. It was a spirit of the Feywild.
Oh goodness. Oh, we're a little
I-
distrustful of the Feywild here, Lady Kaiser, not the one.
It was the good section, I believe. The one with the
yes, I've
the
read.
nice flowers
I've read
and
in
the trees.
storybooks about the Seelie and the Unseelie, but I don't know much beyond that. It's not my wheelhouse at all. Oh no, has Maggie crashed?
Maggie?
Oh no!
Maggie.
Marigold just gets a buffering logo on
She's
the
been
head.
banished back to the Feywild.
Send back.
Oh, Meg's back. I can see her moving, but I can't hear her. Can you hear her,
Can't hear you,
guys?
Maggie.
Can't hear you.
Oh, I can hear
Oh
you
wait,
now.
no, you're back.
Yeah, back.
We can hear you now, babe. Yeah.
Yeah. Last thing I heard was I've done some reading or something.
Yeah, no, I just was saying that I've read fairy stories, so I know about Seelie and Unseelie, but that's about it. Because I have it in
yes, it
canon,
was-
lent Nute fairy stories like 3
Yeah.
or 4 times now.
Yes, I was sort of guided by a spirit and spent some time there
Wow.
communing with weave, I suppose.
That's so beautiful and fascinating. Goodness, you will have to tell me all about it so I can write it down when I've got paper and books and things, not when I'm covered in bilge water, so that I can put a note of it in my library. I'm trying to build a whole new repertoire of Addagani knowledge of magics, and Hemlock's druidry seems to be in total counterpoint to yours. In fact, Hemlock is rather reticent to share where she thinks it might come from. I don't think she's ever actually told me. But yours sounds delightful.
It was quite nice. I spent quite a long time there before I went back to the tribe. And yeah, as far as I know, it was quite nice. I didn't meet any, fancy elves or anything like that. It was mostly just creatures.
Speaking of fancy elves, who on earth do you think is in this? And Hope's gonna lean the painting up and point her fingers at it. And I want to use this opportunity to try and figure out if I know who's in the painting, despite their faces not being there.
Yeah, go ahead and make a history check.
Yeah, okay.
I really like the idea of Hope going to Marigold, going, "Who do you think this is?" As if Marigold will.
Marigold might know. Marigold might know. I'm not going to sell Marigold short.
The gnome
Oh, mate, it was my third nat 20 of the fucking day on who is in this fucking painting.
Hey, nice.
They're on 3 different dice as well. Thank you, dice gods.
Inspecting the painting together, Hope, you immediately your keen eye is picking up on the fashion as well as the painting style and the frame itself and the small kind of patterns and filigree across the frame. You notice kind of a brooch on the lapel of one of these, like they're not like a 3-piece suit, but it's like the ye olde Addagani version of a 3-piece suit.
Yeah, got you.
And
the
it
4-piece
bears
suit, as it's well known in Addagan.
It is. I need to gander on my map as well. I don't know why that one is. Yes, you recognize it as a family crest of an old family of Maldron. Not one of the richest or most powerful, but one of the longest standing families. With a natural 20, I'll say you are also familiar with the individuals in the painting specifically.
Yes, finally my build pays off.
The individual on the left is unknown to you. Too much of their visage is ruined, and not enough of their clothes is visible. But the one on the right, their hands are crossed, and you see one of the hands is stiff and is wooden, and it appears to be some kind of prosthetic. And that you rack your brains for a moment of people in this family house.
It's new.
It's my dad? No, it's not my dad.
It's not your dad. Hold on.
Andrew's like, by the way, Star Wars has not had a hand this whole time.
It's time before he got the metal arm.
That's right. That's him.
He upgraded.
They had to start with wood to get
Pine
used
is a noble. Pine is a noble of Maldron, guys.
Yeah.
That's sick.
And has had a secret life
Sorry.
as a noble from Maldron.
Sorry if this turns out to be nothing, lads, but it's just interesting, isn't it?
No, go for it.
It is an individual known as Moldiah Thegraves.
Moldiah, Soraya, Pariah.
Andrew
Fucking-
likes iron names. you know,
Yeah.
like, we've all got our things.
Cool.
We do.
I would never believe.
They've been dead for a while. They're a few generations back. They were a human family, and this individual was responsible for one of the for the majority of the construction of the watchtowers that populate the field lands northeast
Yeah.
of.
Nice.
That is what you gather. Ashura,
Yes.
as the rest of the party kind of occupying themselves with chit chat and looking at these paintings and things, you focus your goggles with identifying these items. The first, the armor itself, is plate armor of resistance, specifically poison. It is armor of poison resistance. The sash appears to be quite strange. It's not a kind of magic that you're familiar with, but you recognize it in how you've seen Nute control energy. It is called the Crackling Sash, and it is on D&D Beyond.
Okay, all right. Cracking
Look at Jordan's little smug smile. Look at that little face.
It's that way. Give me a second now. Wait.
Ashura's like, I'm keeping this.
Dickhead. Right. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Ashura's like, wait,
know
can
what
I
it
use it first?
Yeah, no, I know what it does.
It does not appear to be cursed.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
Yes.
So,
But the DM gives you points for checking, because randomly guessing maybe there's a cleric nearby, it'll be fine, probably isn't the way to go.
Oh, it totally is.
okay, David. Okay.
First
David,
stuff I
I
found
love
was
the idea,
cursed.
I
I'm
love the
like,
idea of Markos being like super duper like risk taking. It's like, fuck it. If there's a curse, I'm gonna blindly walk back to Maldron. Let's do it.
Yeah, like Markos is so particular and accurate and careful in all of his actions, except cursed items. He's like, fuck
Yeah.
No, he's just really excited at magical loot.
it.
He's like,
Aww.
oh, look at this
cute.
shit. This is like Christmas.
Team, gather around.
Oh.
There is so much stuff. There's like 2 stuff. I'm joking. Don't gather around. There's not much. We've got like a blue sash. That seems to basically, whenever you punch someone, you can decide to add additional damage to it, like electrical damage or something. But it's only when you punch someone. Like you can't really use it with anything else. It's weird. It's like
If only there was someone in our party that
sounds
punched
useless.
people, Ashura.
Yes,
Yeah, it
if
sounds
only.
so
Like-
useless.
it's kind of useless, you know. Like who punches people? Like if there is Addagan in front of him, you're not gonna punch him. So.
Wait, Ashura, I'm right here. What
Oh, I
do
didn't
Nute,
see that.
Nute.
Ashura, I just did it in front of you. I'm like, God, you really
Nute.
are dumb, aren't you?
No, I
God.
thought-
We're joking.
All right, so that's for you, buddy.
I do that.
The one in the party that wants to punch people for living, right?
Go ahead and find the Crackling Sash on D&D Beyond, John.
I give it to Jordan.
Sage
A little laugh.
Babbling Sage.
And the other one is breastplate that kind of like makes you kind of better against poison. It's pretty cool. It has a mask on it.
Here wears a breastplate.
Yeah, it's a breastplate. Yeah.
Who here wears a breastplate?
I mean,
Can-
I can, but I don't want to. It's ugly as sin.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
fine.
well, it's sleek and black.
Yeah. Well.
Oh yeah, you know, each to their own. I say, dressed in my like white, pastel pink and gold that I've permanently worn this entire campaign.
The problem, David, is when you create an aesthetic, magic items are great, but they need to fill that aesthetic. right?
Exactly, and that is why Adamvor could actually not win me over. Like I never told you guys this, but I was on the brink. And then he gave me visions of
Wow.
purple tentacles and black clothing, and I was like, no, honey, absolutely not.
So, I think- what are you wearing right now, Markos?
I'm wearing a mundane breastplate.
Fair
Steel.
enough.
Fine Addagan steel.
Oh, I mean, it's only both of us, but I have tons of items, so it's fine. So I mean, if no one wants it apart from you, you can take it.
Well, I mean, I can't take it. If anyone else feels like they need it more, then
You look
I mean-
around to the 2 druids and the monk, who are the other people
Yeah.
who are
Yeah.
in the running for this.
well, okay then. I suppose I can wear it.
Yeah, go ahead.
It'll
buddy.
look great on you.
I'm sure.
I'm sure the
Yeah.
black will help me blend into the shadows more.
It's really gonna
I would-
set off your eyes.
I whisper to Hope. I would have
Black
taken it, but it
leather
doesn't go
setting
with
off
her.
my brown eyes.
Yes, you know, the dark pupils. It's really gonna
Ah.
bring out, you know, the contrast between the brown and the black. You're gonna look gorgeous, darling.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
But yeah, no, I would have taken it, Markos, but you know, it doesn't go with the rest of the aesthetic and
And with this, Markos becomes one step closer to being the Winter Soldier.
yeah.
Oh my
That's
god!
A breastplate, armor of
So-
poison resistance breastplate.
Yes,
So
sir.
who's gonna cut off Markos's arm?
All right, let's do it.
Into my crystal kingdom.
You guys,
Please don't sue us, Griffin McElroy.
At least that's who I
you guys bring Maple back, and she accidentally comes out swinging and just cuts Markos's arm off.
Hell fucking yeah.
Oh, hey guys. Oh, shit. So, with these items provisionally distributed, do you guys want to continue to rest here and attune to them? Are you guys heading somewhere else? Continuing to look for something within here, or are you guys moving on?
Can I just quickly check the body?
You can.
I would like to help with that. But
I
I'm
will
checking
let
it.
you do
probably-
the body checking, and I will help.
Checking. Well, I'm checking probably in a slightly different way.
Markos, do you want to make an investigation check?
I'm
Hemlock,
just gonna like
what are you
search it
doing?
for items.
I'm having a look over this body. This is the first time I've been able to properly see a hag up close. But so I wanna see what's up. I wanna see what's popping with this woman.
How invasive are you getting?
You know who I am.
You're going full autopsy? Okay.
Kind of.
How long do you wish to take? Basically, do the
I
others
don't
have
wanna
time to attune to things?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to stay longer than the others want to. Like, I'm happy to, if these guys want to get out of here as soon as possible, I'll just do like a basic check over. But
Well,
yeah, I'm happy to.
We can take the time.
We've taken 20 minutes for the identify already, so
Yeah.
I got
can take the
16 by the
time.
way.
A 16, okay. It appears that she doesn't really wear much stuff. She is dressed shabbily in just the grossest rags that at this point are more hair and twig and grime than they are fabric, and they don't cover up enough. There is so much sag happening. There are boils and scars.
I stopped
and
investigating.
Like it's almost like the left tit has like 4 nipples, but their spots just
Andrew.
yeah, she ain't pretty.
You're gonna get us taken off Twitch, bro.
Yeah.
Can't talk about
I'm having
nipples.
fun.
You can't talk about nipples.
That's like so many female presenting nipples. Do you not realize how much danger you're putting in?
Oh man.
I mean, that's
I
like
mean,
2.5
guys, we're not, like,
times normal amount.
Rihanna said the words gay sex earlier. I feel like
did,
we're already
yeah.
there. We're gonna get.
We'll put it on Patreon. It's fine.
This episode goes on our OnlyFans.
And not for the reasons you think. So, are you guys sticking around to attune to items and give Hemlock an hour, or are you guys bolting kind of soon as she
Could
goes
I
to
just say, Hemlock is welcome to spend an hour in this dirt hole. Hope will not, and Hope will go and sit like just outside with snow. I know it's raining. It was at least raining when
It
we
was
came
raining
in.
when you went in.
And if it's still raining, that's fine. Hope will like cast Gust around her head so she doesn't get rained on and just sit and like ruffle
not
Snow's fur and just sit outside because she does not want to be in the minging hole. And anyone that doesn't want to be in the minging hole
Valid.
can come with me. While
Yeah,
we wait
I
for
can-
Hemlock to do her weird shit.
That sounds good.
I'm perfectly happy here.
Alright. In which
I would do
case,
the same. Like, see Hemlock gets in his zone. It's like, you just have fun. Just come out when you're ready.
You have fun, kiddo.
I will.
in which case, Nute and Markos, you can both attune to your new toys. And Hemlock, go ahead and make me a medicine check, please.
25.
Jesus, all right. You get thorough, and you, even for you, she's gross. Like you've done gross in terms of like alien carcasses and stuff. This is like kind of human and really gross. But once you get inside, it's just strange. The arrangement of organs is different. The alimentary canal does not go where it normally goes. There is not a stomach in the way that there is normally a stomach. It's almost like a single, it's like a single line. The lungs have barely any capacity to them, and as you cut open, parts of the lungs look almost shriveled. But as you're cutting through, like almost like these, like the sacs within them burst, and thousands of tiny spiders burst out and climb around and make a mess of your work.
Is it 3
Rihanna's gross.
Hemlock is
but
fine
Hemlock
with
loves
this,
it.
but like,
It's
Yeah.
lots.
I
It's
don't.
lots
I
more of
wouldn't
that.
say Hemlock loves it. Yeah, I wouldn't say Hemlock loves it.
She's like, oh,
But-
fascinating.
You are welcome
Yeah.
to take. Are you harvesting or investigating?
I want to take one thing. but Can I investigate? But I want to try and can I take a heart?
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna take a heart,
You have a
but
hack's heart.
that's it.
Okay.
Nice. That's all I'm doing.
What can you do with a hag's heart?
Yo, that's real quick.
I
should we
don't
just,
know. That's the fun thing.
Real quick, should we
Yeah.
just like tune into the coin and be like, hey, by the way, we killed your sister?
No,
Oh,
you don't want someone on our tail.
No,
we
no,
don't
no, no,
tell
no, no,
her.
no.
She
No,
probably
we
already
don't.
knows.
She probably
She's
already
gonna
knows.
find out.
She probably already knows, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Guys, what would happen? Do you think if I ate the heart like Daenerys Targaryen? What would happen?
Nothing.
You would
It would
become a
taste
hag and we'd have to
fucking
kill you,
disgusting.
probably.
Probably. Do you want to die?
I also have
Severe
only just
diarrhea.
realised something beautifully poetic, that this hag was killed with the bow her sister made. Like, big oof. Big ouchies on that one.
And Andrew was like, I planned it all along.
Oh, can I take a look at the bow, Andrew?
Yeah.
What's on it?
Taking a closer look, you see the familiar, like, kind of first third of it is the same as it has been since you found it. It has the same story of a boat crossing some kind of water, a swooping of wings, goblins, battles. There is what looks like a gnome with just a massive plume of hair holding the bow aloft. Beyond that, there are kind of swirling tentacles. Then there are, somehow, you look at it and you're unsure how the shapes are conveying the information, but you look at it and you see stars, like light within it, but not shining, just some kind of pattern and shape that is making you think of light and stars.
Like in the tentacles?
No, beyond the
yeah.
the next section up, as well as worms, and a face with 7 eyes, a hand gripped on a wand that is a spine that ends in a skull. To the left of it, there is what looks like a cow's skull with massive horns.
Markos. Yeah. Okay. Markos doesn't know that.
Yeah. Among that and beyond, there is a horribly familiar thin black figure. And then what looks like a human figure kind of simply kind of bending over and picking up the bow off the floor. And then just beyond that, there is like an ugly female humanoid face that seems to be like lying on its side, like leaking.
A humanoid picking up the bow.
That's you, bro.
I guess would I intuit that would be me, and then the ugly face is dead hag.
Yes. That brings you to about like two-thirds the way along it, like on one half. Beyond that, it goes. Make an insight check.
Oh, it's lying to you.
Oh no, I rolled so badly. 9 total.
9. Beyond that, you see winding tunnels. And from there, it just kind of fades into like slightly shifting, kind of amorphous, almost hieroglyphs that haven't formed yet.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'll save it for if we're walking back to Maldron with anyone. I'll just sort of relay what I've seen to the group.
All right. Well, with hags dissected, loot attuned to.
We're finishing the gossip we're having with the rest of the people. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, so they kissed in the herb garden!
God.
Good grief, Marigold!
Damn. All right.
To be fair, we did do a good job at the herb
Yeah,
garden.
it was so
It's a nice
sweet.
spot.
Do you
Well,
think they've got sticking power? Do you think they're going to stay together a while, or do you think it's just a fling?
I honestly think they might. They're both absolute sweethearts.
Can
and
you
they
imagine a
clearly care a lot
wedding
for
at
each other.
Yalenhorn Manor out in the gardens that you and Hemlock have grown? It would be so beautiful.
Well.
Sorry, sure. Just because all your boyfriends dump you in the gardens doesn't mean it isn't a nice place for the rest of us.
I have the right to be angry at love in general. Okay. Learn. Oh.
Marigold. You know about this bow, right?
A little, I suppose.
Now, I've just seen some interesting things on it. Like, it seems to know that I have it, and there's all of the Children of the Sun things on here. These winding tunnels. Looks like, what, the Underdark? We're going there, I suppose? It knows?
Potentially. It does tend to have some proclivity for not necessarily knowing the concrete future, as it is always relative to what happens and people's choices. But yes, it does. That would be my first guess, seeing as we are planning on going down there.
Interesting. I do wonder
And,
if, Sorry?
It does seem to know when it changes hands, as it did, when April gained it from the Goblin King, Trollheart.
Is that where she got it? Interesting.
Yes, I believe everyone, Hemlock and Hope and Nute went on the mission to collect it, and
It's very impressive.
I think that was one of the first things they did together, which was nice.
Oh no, the first things we did was commit crime.
Yeah, after all the crime.
Interesting. Well, I just wanted to make sure. I don't suppose there's any thing we should know. Like, this was made by what was her name? The Opal.
The Opal
Oracle?
Oracle.
Who's related to the Babbling Sage. There is an image of.
I believe I referred to her as the sister, yes.
There is a image of the sage dead on here. I just hope that this does not come back to bite us.
Do you think the Opal Oracle might get a bit mad with us?
I mean,
It
being
depends
an
what her
oracle,
relationship
I
to her
assume
sister
she
is.
probably knows. Well, I mean, how much does Marigold know about, like, hag covens?
Make a honestly history or arcana check.
Ooh, let's see. They're the same anyway. Uh, 13.
13. You're aware of the existence of hags. In terms of their covens, you know little more than the fact that hags are usually solitary, but when they get together, it's something is making them overcome their solitary nature, and in doing so, they can be quite dangerous. That's about all I'm aware.
But I wouldn't assume that they're necessarily fond of each other, seeing as they're not actually together. Because usually hags are solitary unless being in a coven benefits them in a way that wants to make them change that. But them having any kind of connection in the first place, I wouldn't want to assume she doesn't care at all.
Interesting. Well, I carry the coin in this bag here, so that's why I'm a little concerned.
In her having connections to the bow and the coin, she probably is aware, I would imagine.
I mean, it'll probably be fine, right? You just beat one hag. What's one more?
Very true. I don't know. I don't think the bow will work against the hag who made it, but
I don't know. I punched some Volman mages when I was at Warforged, and that worked fine.
that is a good point.
That's fair.
That is a very good point. Well, we will see. To town, I guess.
Well, yeah. Depending on where we want to go from now, if we want to go straight to the entrance that I've came from,
I think a lot of these personal belongings that we found should be left probably at the town hall and
I
just
agree.
let them know the Babbling Sage is dead, and if they wish to reclaim their things wagered or
Yeah.
aid,
Hmm.
they can.
who would be the best for that? I guess we say that while we walk. Huh? Who is maybe the town guards? I mean, I don't know if that like do you have?
I would say
No,
the
it's-
guard.
The guards. We could take it to the temple as well.
Oh yes.
Also
My
a good
father
idea. Also
is
Stalwart.
literally a lord of Maldarin who knows a majority of the populace, guys.
Well, that can
I
help
love you
too.
all very much, but sometimes I feel the mental blocks are significantly staggering.
I'll be honest, I forgot
Well,
your father
I-
was close.
That is a good point.
I'll be honest.
I forget that he is a upstanding pillar of.
Oh, don't
community.
worry. That was Bob's commented to Ashura, not you, Markos. I would never say anything mean to you, sweetheart. And I'll give him a squeeze on the shoulder.
I still don't fully understand how this nobility works, because like I'm also technically a lord now, but I don't know many people in that area.
Oh,
I
look,
thought it would
okay,
just be,
right.
like,
So
a
we
thing that
have
I do.
honorary titles. Maybe there's tracts of land. I'm not sure. That was never fully explained to us. But we have these honorary titles that set us in good stead and standing, whereas there are non-honorific titles. Like, when you study really hard at something, you might receive a qualification in that, versus sometimes if you're just a good enough and talented enough person, the institution might just hand you a qualification for free. It's kind of, the difference between those two things. My father has worked extremely hard to care for a large group of people. He protects their lands. He makes sure the crops grow. He makes sure they're happy. He makes sure that if tax is being charged, it isn't pressing the pockets of his people too much. And he has put so much elegance and effort and work into that he is a Lord of Maldarin, like his father before him. Whereas we just kind of have the title because we look cool, as far as I'm aware. We were never given any
Kill a
tracts of land
dragon and
indeed.
save an entire
Well,
fortress.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we
we're
get that.
cool. We're war heroes, but we're not. The responsibility isn't there. Anyway, boring. Court's boring. I'm so sorry. I mean, not to me, but I understand to you that this is probably not the most spicy of conversations.
Interesting, but not a world I am familiar with. Let's say.
Very good way to put it.
So, as you guys converse about the various places you could drop these things off, the journey to Maldron itself is not very long. A couple hours, maybe an hour at most from where you are. You cross into the town itself. There are guards aplenty all over the place. You guys can head to the temple or the town hall to drop these things off. Where are you guys going? Would you like to just drop it with the guard and get on your way? What's the vibe?
Well, I think Hope was giving us a good idea to go see her father, so we could do that.
I think go to the.
I don't believe I have met him yet. This would be good.
Oh, right.
Me neither. Or maybe I did. I don't remember.
I don't remember either, guys.
I don't remember. I don't think I did.
I,
No,
have,
don't think
I
did.
haven't met Stalwart.
Yeah,
No, I haven't.
I trust Markos. I don't know if Alex knows or not.
No,
I don't
I
think
don't.
Alex has.
no. 'Cause the only time I went to Malden, I went alone.
Yeah, and yeah, because you were away for a few chunks when they saw him earlier on.
Yeah.
Cool.
You should meet my family too.
We could do that too, yeah.
The ambient playlist has run out, Andrew. If you would care to restart it.
I set it to loop.
Oh,
loop,
mine is
but it's
on
like a
0
broken
0
loop.
0 0 0.
I mean, there is the music, but
I've
I
restarted
think
it.
for some reason it stops when you switch map.
Maybe.
Oh,
maybe.
that is a
Me, it's
setting
not
you can
work
have.
properly as well, and I find that just changing the volume, just touch, works.
Huh. Anywho, you guys find your way through Maldron. It has stopped raining, although it is still cloudy. And bearing these sporadic items reclaimed from this hag lair, you make your
We're
way
gonna
to the
get the
Summerhold
first
estate.
snow.
You are let in by the gnome butler Anthony, and
Gnome
fairly
Anthony.
shortly,
We love him. Anthony, my guy.
as you guys all enter the parlor, Stalwart himself enters as well. Oh, hello everyone. Lovely to see all of you. I think we've got some new
Yes,
faces in the house. at least.
Daddy, Nute and Hemlock, obviously, except Nute probably looks
Oh,
different.
yes.
He,
Got my old body back.
got his old body back, is the
Good.
polite way to say it. This is
Glad.
Marigold, Maple's wife.
Marigold, lovely to meet you. And he kind of gives you a small
She
bow.
helped set up all of the bees that we have at Galen Hall. It's wonderful. This is Markos.
Markos, the marksman.
And Hope will
Indeed.
Hope will also give your absolutely correct, accurate title. Prudence doesn't know it. Hope probably does.
Perfect.
It's Lieutenant Markos Estraver of
There
the
you go.
2nd Royal Infantry Gun Scouts.
That's what I say when I introduce you, because my dad is a military
Lord
man.
Lieutenant.
The Lord Lieutenant, technically, yeah.
Well, wonderful. Well, welcome, obviously, all, and Ashura and Markos, welcome. How can
Thank you,
we?
my lord.
I'm just popping around. Shall I have dinner prepared? What's?
I think we should stay for a spot of dinner, don't you?
I tell you,
Or do you want to just go?
do you have any cheesecake by any chance?
I always have cheesecake.
Oh,
Newt, please do not encourage him. Oh my
This place.
goodness.
Will Maple be joining us?
He knows Maple's dead.
Oh, because you.
I went to I went to his. He knows Maple's dead.
Ah, he does. He does kind of.
whoopsie.
He casts a kind of a kind eye towards you, Marigold, kind of judging whether or not his specific, like, how much attention he should give it, how much you want, and he kind of chooses to, like, Marigold, welcome obviously to my home, but also my deepest condolences for Maple. She was a refreshing difference in town, and always a wonderful guest.
Thank you.
Aw.
Well, Anthony, you here. Make sure dinner is prepared for everyone, and if Newt wants cheesecake, then I mean more cheesecake.
Lord Summerhold, if I may.
Please, in my
last-
house,
last-
Stalwart.
Thank you, Stalwart. Last time I came to Maldron was the date of the attack, and we had planned to see my family for dinner. I do not wish to impose, but could they come?
Oh my goodness, yes, they can come. Hope steps in before Stalwart can say shit. Even if Stalwart was gonna say yes, Hope is like, yeah, let's go.
We came here for a spot of business as well as a social call, and I think we're on quite a tight schedule, and I'm
Yes,
sorry.
of course. No, do not apologize. More guests around here at this time, and nothing but welcome. It's a little quiet here at times, to be honest. Yes, I'll send him.
I'll write their address, and I'll write an
Perfect.
address down.
Perfect. Yes, of course. Good. Yes. What are their names?
Russelon and Carella Estreva.
Carrera Ruslan. Perfect. Wait, not of the what's it? The Timber Guild.
The briny
Salt-
timber.
That's
Something
the
like
one. I
that.
thought I recognized the name.
Yes. My father is a shipwright, and my mother, their accountant.
I thought the name was familiar. Perfect. Good. Yes. And of course, a pleasure to meet any friends or family of the prestigious Soulguard. You mentioned that you are on a schedule to go somewhere. Where are you off to next already? You know, goes to a table and starts pouring out some drinks for you guys.
Well, pretty far away, actually. We're going to my home.
Oh, that is far.
Yes.
Well, I trust you know what you're doing and that you'll look after each other.
I'll take a drink. I'll take one of the drinks, even if he's pouring them, even if he's not handing it to me. I'll just take one and say, "We have no idea what we're doing, but we seem to get lucky."
Well, let's hope that continues.
Yes.
I have a question for the DM.
Yes, hello.
Is Gale here?
Is my dad a bicon?
You haven't seen him having entered the house now.
Okay, just wondering.
So, my lord, I am not sure of the political system of Addagan quite clearly. So, what is exactly your job in Maldrin? What do you do? Do
Oh,
you
I'm a landowner.
well,
A governor of a number of smaller districts, mostly outside of the town. I oversee things like taxes and rent for some properties. I also ensure that places are it's mostly managerial now. Back more in my youth, and especially for the position when held by my father, was one of the people and families under my watch were the bannermen for the armies.
all right.
Daddy, speaking of managerial, we did just kill the Babbling Sage. Just got back, in fact. That's
Yes.
why we kind of half stink. I know every time I walk in the door, I say something absolutely ridiculous, and I realize that my life is stupid. However, we have a lot.
Unpredictable, for sure.
We have a lot
Yes,
of
stupidity, good sir.
possessions that belong to the people of Maldrin, the small holdings in the towns outside of here, the hamlets, the villages. And I would like to try and return as many of them as possible. I mean, some obviously. I found a painting of Moldaya Theagraves, and I don't think that can be returned to the Theagraves by
Rihanna has gone.
by any stretch. I love it when everyone's in the wrong place. But if we could perhaps, I know there's a war on and there's a lot more on people's minds, but maybe we could start a kind of hag amnesty here, and people can come by and either here or one of the public buildings in town, and you could help set that up. Or you perhaps know someone best placed to do so that maybe isn't too involved in the war effort right now.
I can try to try and get some things returned to their owners. Sure. I don't know how successful it'll be.
A lot of the things seem to be quite old, or family heirlooms, perhaps. Sentimental value, mostly.
That might make it easier if there's any markings on it, but
OOC guys, I won't tell him about the sash, the armor, or the teapot if you don't.
I will hand over the teapot.
Oh,
like
lucky.
Hemlock likes it, but she has a lot of teapots. It doesn't make sense for me for Hemlock to be like, this is a nice teapot, I'm keeping it. It doesn't make sense.
And like same thing for Ashura. Like the ring is great.
Character. I will hand it
Wait,
over.
he's gonna hang. Ola.
Yo,
Sorry.
like,
So Serena was cutting it. I wasn't sure she was finished. Sorry. I'll just bag the ring.
like, yo, you can give me away the sash, not a fucking chance.
No.
Maybe Mike
Take
would
armor
in
off,
a situation. Jordan, not a fucking chance.
Yeah, not a
It's
fucking
staying in my inventory.
there. Well, I mean, the main thing, my lord, would be to just tell the public about the death of the hag. Anyway, many people must have, at least some of them must have taken a contract with her and not deal with physical objects. So just the knowledge of her being dead is pretty important.
I'll mention it to the appropriate people and ensure that it's a piece of good news for the streets that could use it right now. Sure. Yes. Right. Aside from finding homes for teapots and rings, dinner. It's a little later in the day, so we'll probably be sitting down relatively soon. We'll get a missive sent to your parents, Markos, and we'll get this all good and have a good little send off for you on your next little jape. Is there anything that you guys wish to do at the Summerhold estate before dinner? Ashura.
I just want to. It's like this is not RP. I think Ashura will just talk with Nute about cheesecake. Oh, what do you think it's in it? Like, do you think it's real cheese?
Like,
Have you
Nute
tried
100% knows what cheesecake is and has
I know.
definitely had it. It was probably like a thing. In my head, it's like the only dessert that they really had at the monastery. Like, one of them, for some reason, was just really fucking good at making cheesecake. It's like, that was the main dessert. And the reason I bring that up specifically is because I have it in my notes from, like, ages ago. Before we even started streaming this, back, like, just after we'd left Canis, I have a note saying that cheesecake is Nute's favorite food.
Fair enough.
And it was in this house that he found that out, and so it's in this house that he's going to have it again.
Okay, tell me more about you talked to me
I
about
will chat to you about cheesecake. You notice as he's doing it, the sash that he's wearing, like, quite, like, faintly billows, and he keeps trying to, like, push it down, and then it just, like, kind of goes back up and starts billowing again.
you doing okay there? It seems to try to get away from you.
What? I don't know, it just doesn't stay down. Eh.
Yeah. Even when you in his movement. Fair. Okay.
As you guys are relaxing in the parlor and the living room and waiting, Gale does show himself, the older Erganassi man. With his kind of grey hair receding somewhat. He's not wearing the kind of the ceremonial robes that you've seen other clerics wearing. He's in more casual,
Yeah, he is.
more casual attire. When he sees all of you, he's like, "Oh, hi everyone. Nice to see all of you. Thank you for helping out with the docks. I heard Buffett was really grateful for your help down then. How you doing, Hope?"
Oh, me? I'm all right. Thanks for asking.
Good. There's been nothing here at the house. I know initially you asked if I could come and stay because there was stuff with brain things, but I've made sure we've got pretty common
Oh
wards about the
goodness,
place.
that was a weight on my mind. I didn't even realise I had. Thank you. Oh, I feel so much lighter now.
No, it's been pretty calm, but I've been I don't know, I've just been keeping sort of a bit of company. It's been a bit of a stressful time. I think good to cling on to older friends.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
I want to do it.
God, you little gossip!
I want to know. This is more me than Hemlock, but
Yeah, like.
I love the
Insane
idea of
trait.
Hemlock being like that tropey, like nerdy girl who really likes anime and ships everyone.
no. I just want to know. I want to know. 17.
17. He seems honest in what he's saying. It seems like he was here to do a bit of a job, a bit of a task for a lord of the city. But you guys already knew that Gale and Sol were friends and have been friends for quite a long time. And he seems to genuinely think that, you know, especially times like these when you can, to spend the time that you can with your friends, and that's important. When you try and ascertain the nature of the friendship, you're unsure.
Okay.
Like nothing about what he said obviously jumps out to you to say we fucking. But neither does it come across that it is. Oh, okay, no, wow, there's nothing here.
Yeah, it's a little ambiguous.
Unsure. Yeah.
I will also say, OOC guys, that in my backstory, it's like Star Wars loves my mom like a lot, and like the fact that they're split up is like he's cool with it, but he's still very sad about it. So he might not be leaping into bed with all of his best friends.
Yeah, that's fair.
But he might. I like fucking power to him if he is. Hope's got to get her sluttiness from somewhere.
Yeah.
Or just like
So many ways.
Turns out Gale is actually the home crasher. Home wrecker. It's like
Home wrecker.
that's what caused the initial split.
Good.
Starwater just couldn't keep his eyes off Gale.
As evening approaches, a familiar halfling Reed arrives with his
Oh, I
lyre.
fucking love Reed, guys.
Kind of waves to all of you. He eagerly boasts and shows, like, he pulls out like several notebooks and like shows you like pages of lyrics of like unfinished poems, because he's been like putting together from scraps and accounts of the adventures you guys have had. But they're all secondhand, and he wants to like get your input on them before he starts performing them to make sure like he's got the most accurate.
Aw.
I'll try to be like, no. Use like that rhyme is not good. Maybe like make it another. Yeah.
Make a
and-
persuasion check,
Get a
Ashura.
bit
Yeah,
more subtlety in there with like this rhyme.
Yeah, I think Ashura will just be like, no. Yeah, you listen to me.
God, we love Reed. Stop being a prick to
These
him.
bars
Yeah.
on
He's giving you a hell of a stink eye right now. Like, you're really gonna tell the bard how to do his shit?
Yeah. Okay,
It's
so
not
it's
like breaking some kind of code.
is it
What is
persuasion?
it, Ashura?
Is it persuasion?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's 28. I rolled a 17.
Bullshit, that.
You see him like he starts a separate thing of notes. Like he's not quite willing to like cross out his stuff for your
Yeah, yeah.
recommendations.
So it's good
But-
ideas, but maybe.
But he does seem to genuinely like some things you say. He's just like, nah, I'm doing this one. But everything you say, he does take on board and
Aw.
make notes of the process and be like, that's a really cool idea. Oh yeah, and sometimes when there's like an idea or a rhyme or a concept that you kind of push towards him, and he seems like to fundamentally disagree as like how it sounds, he immediately jumps on the opportunity to like, but if I can then like rephrase this thing as a quote directly from one of the people
Yeah.
that it's about, that adds a layer to the artistic integrity of this line. Oh, great. And he kind of delves into that part of it. But he fairly quickly sets up and does start playing some more relaxed classics.
It's
Um,
important that the official bard of the Soulguard just,
Before dinner is actually served, and we're all having the preemptive glass of wine and, sit around. I want to go find my dad and go out on, like, one of our little balconies.
Mhm.
And just have a little chat with old Daddy-O.
Oh.
Daddy, since last time we spoke, well, you didn't really speak. I was relatively inconsolable, and I'm sorry you had to sit through
It's
that.
literally my job.
I know, but I love you, and you take very good
Like-
care of me.
Puts an arm around you and pulls you for like a side hug.
Andrew's such a good fake dad, guys. I recommend you all write your
Where's this fake camera
dads into canon so that you can have Dad Andrew.
Yeah.
And
I
hopefully they
already
won't
have
have
Dad
memory
Andrew.
loss. So look out here at this town. It's so beautiful. It means everything to me. This country raised me. I didn't think I would grow up to be a patriot, but with Von pressing in on us as strongly as they are, with night walkers popping into existence on the very docks, I have to say, I have grown very proud of my country, and I'm very proud of us and our family, and I don't know. Daddy, I'm at a crossroads, and I don't know which way to go, because these lot, they want to go harking off to the Underdark, they want to bring Maple back when death is it's a thing of sanctity and sacredness, and that scares me and it frightens me, and we're facing undeath every day, and I see people being cut down, and I just can't help but think, what if those were my brothers on the docks? What if that was my father? And I really have begun to doubt that my place is here with the Soulguard. I don't think they'd suffer without me, and I think Mulderin is suffering hard without my presence here, and I don't know who to go to for advice about any of this, except perhaps the kindest and greatest man in all of Mulderin himself. And I'm hoping perhaps you can point my little mess of a weather vane in the right direction.
You've always been an interesting one. Valor and Verity were simple. They read the stories, listened to experiences, and they learned the lessons that you taught them. if you wanted to tell them an anecdote to convey the value of something, they listened to it and they understood it. And that was it. It was. And they always showed prowess with leading, and they understood the responsibility of what that means, and they found their place so easily within the Beast Corps and the infantry. You are not that simple. You've ignored lessons when they were tried to be taught to you, and you've learned lessons where we never thought you'd go. Which means that you are a person that excels in many places. Both apparently on the battlefield and in the study and on a floor full of influential, manipulative people. Which I'm sure you understand is as real a battlefield as anything laced with blood.
I hope and Prudence both laugh at that. Like, fair enough, the Royal Court is a fucking shit show, innit? Well, yes, Soraya, I mean, Her Royal Highness the Princess Soraya,
Don't worry, I haven't heard any rumors.
What do you do when your parent like calls you out for dating the princess, guys? I don't fucking know. Hope just ignores it. Offered me the chance to start a school of magic here in Malderin to bring together the little lost boys and girls and children that might need my guidance, and I think that's where I'm meant to be, under the watchful eyes of Astea, like truly filling in both yours and Mother's footsteps, teaching and learning and helping Addagan become the country it was always destined to be.
You know, I've actually never been much of one for destiny. I don't believe there's much in the way of a plan,
I mean,
which in some ways makes the job, or at least the way I've seen it, the job of a leader easier. Because if there's no plan or direction, then, well, the buck kind of stops with you. If the people under your watch are led astray or go hungry, there's no safety net. Which means that the job is important, and I agree with you. I think that you have value not only assisting your friends on the battlefield, but I think that you could do very well to guide and lead others. And this country has long lacked both the arcane expertise, and it is something that you will need help on and will take time. But the arcane knowledge of Addagan left out of fear and out of, well, kidnap. It's a dangerous place to put yourself, but...
Daddy, wherever I go, I'm going to be in a dangerous place. I'd rather it was here, helping thousands of people, than out in the wilderness somewhere, alone and afraid.
Fates are written on both pages. A party of 5 can turn the tide of wars that span planes. And a single person can sit at a desk and change history.
Well, you know me, I've never really been the going outdoors and actually trying to do stuff type anyway.
And look, if you find the right person, then you can get someone to like give you a foot rub while you're sitting at the desk.
Oh, yes, it sounds very good. I hope we'll like finish the rest of her drink and banter with her dad till dinner time happens.
Alrighty. Markos.
Do my parents arrive?
They do.
Yay! I would like to introduce them to everyone. So, like, I guess when they arrive, I'll like excitedly like run up to the door and be like,
Like Anthony's answering the door, and then you like rush up behind him, and he's like, "Oh, all right, there you go."
Sorry, my good man. I believe this is my parents.
Yes, I think so. reaches up at the handle. and-
Mama, Papa.
Mama, papa.
Markos, so good to see you. Strange to see you here of all places, but of course you've gone to great things.
We have friends in high places now.
And we have family
guess-
there as well. And your father like claps you on the shoulder.
Oh,
Please lead the way. Introduce us.
of course, of course. And Mama, you come in as well. Do you want me to carry your coat, or are you okay, or?
He's so cute. Markos is so fucking cute.
It's such a love, that mama's boy.
Is it just my parents, not my brother as well?
It's just your parents.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll lead them all in and be like, Soulguard, we didn't get chance to meet last time we were here, but these are my parents. My father, Roussillon, and my
Another-
mother, Gabrielle.
It's a pleasure to meet all of you. Well, thank you so much for inviting us, and also for being such good friends to Markos. He's barely stopped speaking about you.
Friend would be a stretch, but
More like family,
gonna-
really.
Oh, Nute saved your bacon there, sure.
Okay, I'm just gonna like lean over to Ashura and just be like, "Thank Nute, he saved that people." Like elbow him in the ribs.
I thought a good
You
joke.
like go up and greet the parents and like distract them from what Ashura just said.
They're shaking hands with all of you. Stowell and Gale both come down, and they all like. There's a bit of recognition there. They're like, "Oh, Lord Summerhold, lovely to meet you." And he's like, "Please, please, in my house, Stalwart will do. Guests, welcome." And he kind of like asks them like that instantaneous business small talk of like, "Oh, how was the recent thing? I heard that you were in charge of doing a thing." Stalwart seems to have like in like one of like the 10 minutes between chatting with Hope and coming down, he's like checked his notes on exactly who they are,
Aw.
and he's come down and is informed and engaging with them.
Ah,
And
yes.
you-
How goes the shipwright business?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, plenty of work to do after the whole shenanigans down at the harbor, which they say is terrible, but
Shenanigans!
but you know, work is work, and if we can. More ships we have to fix and build, the more things we can be helpful to the others. I just wish I had more hands.
Papi, did we get a chance to take a look at any of the Volman ships? Those were quite fast by the looks of things.
We did, yes. The Beast Corps managed to actually stop one. Not all of them got away. We caught one of them.
Great
The Griffin Riders with the guns chased one down and shot the driver. And we managed to haul it back into port. So we've actually got one that we're kind of studying now. So who knows? Maybe we'll have some breakthroughs. The tinkerers and stuff from Browpeak and also from Weatherwall are really having a go at it to try and break it down and see if we can see what we can use. You know,
I can imagine. Fantastic.
it's a little bit out of my area of expertise, but if I can put the materials in the right hands, then we might be in business. And everyone is kind of ushered into the dining room, and like another table has been like added to the end, and more chairs laid out for this kind of extended party. And music is played, and food is brought out, and dinner is had. Anything you guys would like to do, say, conversations begin.
I have something I'd like to say
Smelling in my parents.
at the end of dinner, so you guys know my timing on the matter. Feel free to let loose otherwise.
With,
I think, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, with Marcus's parents here, Nute will like regale some of the tales of our battles and basically give Marcus like a really glowing look. and,
Markos
like,
got the
this
killing
incredible
blow on
marksman.
Ivrinfra and the hag.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, Nute got the
Actually,
killing blow.
Nute
Nute
got
got
the
it.
killing.
Oh, on our
On
tour,
Ivrinfra.
we made it look
We
like
made
it
it
was
look like
Markos.
Markos.
That's right, 'cause he was there. Yeah.
But like, Nute will give him that.
Yeah.
Nute will stick with that story of Marcus got the killing blow at Ivrinfra because he's like,
The more you speak and the more you try and big Markos up to his parents, the more he kind of like shrinks in his seat a bit and he's like filled
Hope,
with red.
Hope will be joining in with
in the
you.
tent, the pajamas he has are just
Oh, yeah.
he's still a
In-
child.
You can defo like expect Shrek casting major image just to give visuals to the
Gorgeous.
So as you can
Hell
see,
yeah.
yeah. There, that happened.
Yeah. Hemlock will be sitting with Markos and trying to encourage him to not be so embarrassed.
Yeah, no, Hope will be topping up your drink a lot, Markos, if you keep drinking it. Yeah, she's like,
He'll like, like be like, oh no, you make it sound more impressive. You make it sound more impressive than it was. I mean, really, you guys did most of the work, and I just, etc.
I'm gonna cast enhanceability for charisma on Markos.
Oh, so
He fucking needs it.
Sure.
Give you a bit more confidence, baby.
So Ashura casted a major image, and so it portrays whatever a Nute is spouting. And at the same time, Ashura is having a conversation with Marigold about, so you can cast spells. Like, I knew you could defend yourself, but I didn't think that good. Like, this is insane. This is big
yes.
magic.
Yeah, I mean, I've had this for quite a while. I obviously haven't been out adventuring or anything, but well, not in a long time anyway. But yes, I did learn quite a lot of magic when I first started. I was talking to Hope about this earlier. I was kind of found, I suppose, by a spirit, and it guided me into the Feywild, where I sort of communed with the and such.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's things that can happen. This is
I was just following this spirit into the woods, and then suddenly the trees and the flowers were all very different. But it took me a while to realize.
So cute.
Like I went through a portal or anything specific. It just sort of faded.
Hope is like taking notes on her napkin. Like she said she'd wait until she had proper paper, but it's too exciting. And she's like,
that must have been a journey, yeah. Another plane.
Yes. I was there for quite a while before I came back, and I came back with not quite as much magic as I have now. I did practice for a long time, healing and helping in the tribe before I, got this practiced. But yes, it was quite remarkable, really. I just sort of came back and was like, magic.
Hemlock, did you ever have an experience like that? Did you ever go to some weird mushroom plane or anything?
Oh yeah, yeah.
No. If I'm quite honest, I don't really know how I learned what I did.
Oh.
I kind of just I just
Did you
remember.
Like, oh no.
I just remember, I was always good at gardening, and I always really liked, gardening and things like that. And then one day I was very good at gardening, but only for mushrooms.
Are you telling us right now, Hemlock, that by gardening you can now bring out powers like thunder on people? I feel like I need to get into gardening. Like,
Oh god. Alex's next multi-class.
I think my learning was, I suppose, an accelerated course of study, if you will. But I believe one can connect with the weave through gardening, if you will.
I was very young. I was very young when it started. I was only about 10. But it's strange. I don't really remember much. The only thing I do remember is do you remember when we went to the Gordark? And
well, no, me and Ashura not.
You don't, but the others of you, when we went to the Gordark, and there was all the mushrooms there, and I went a little bit weird.
Yes.
Hope has like only heard the third hand of this tale, and is like shooting glances to Ashura like, fuck, because me and Ashura are very like.
Yeah, this is a weird place.
When I was there, I don't know whether it was like a vision or a memory, but it was like seeing myself young as a child in my childhood bedroom, and there was a person sat on my bed, and she was a lady, and she was covered in mushrooms, and she wore a very long, nice dress. She just sat on my bed, and that's all. I don't know if it was just something that I remembered and I hadn't remembered till then, or if it was a new thing. that have just been put into my mind, but that's the closest thing I can remember.
DM, do
don't
I
know
know who a
otherwise.
mushroom lady is?
I have mentioned I did talk about her because I described her to Cathel and Zara when you were all in the room, and she was like, "Look up fungal demonology,"
Oh yeah, that's right.
and you were all there, apart from Marigold. But yes, that's all really. I haven't really questioned it. There wasn't that many people around who could do. You know, we had a few druids that would come to Levasuda occasionally, but nothing quite like what I would do, and they didn't stay for very long. So.
Cool. So what I've written down on the napkin is step 1, garden. Step 2, see a mushroom lady. Step 3, control thunder. I think like that's pretty.
I mean, that's how I
Step
did it.
3,
I suppose.
question mark. Step
Yeah.
4, profit.
I feel
Like
like it's
this
easier
is
to follow a spirit into the Feywild.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean,
feel like-
I'm gonna put it out there to all of you. It is so much easier just to be born an angel. Like, honestly, this is such a great free ride I've
You
got.
see,
Well, I'm
I
already
tried that a
lucky.
couple times. The first time I got dwarf, second time I got robot, and then I got back to dwarf again. I think it's just not my luck.
Yeah.
Talking about angel shit. Hope, why do you have now like a helmet and like 4 wings? You never talked about it. How was the trip to the tower? I feel like that was.
Celestia is going through
Yeah.
its own very specific and intense politicking that
Yeah,
I was caught up on within a matter of minutes and then thrust into some courtroom type deal to argue with an archmage of Volm. Honestly, it's all a blur. And at the end of it all, I don't know the outcome. I don't know if I won the courts of Astea's angels over, but people up there are taking sides and it's getting pretty hairy. But as a thank you, my far superior to yours draconic sugar daddy just gave me this, and she taps like this beautiful like set of gold branches that kind of like, it's not a necklace.
When you say sugar daddy, Stalwart like coughs in his drink.
it's like a golden mantle of like the most delicate twigs and branches you've ever seen, like when the gold goes on her dress in the live action Beauty and the Beast. But on Hope's like collarbones, and she
Right,
taps
so-
it and it sparkles radiantly slightly. Doop, doop.
Wow, and so you got wow, so you got a helmet, 4 wings now from it. I mean, 2
Yeah.
more wings. Wow,
You
and the
know.
sword. You couldn't do the same things you do with the sword now.
Oh, you know, Beacon got
What's
a
that thing in
few.
the
Beacon got a few upgrades.
Wow.
I can do all sorts of stuff now. Go on, ask me a question. About anything. Any legend, any legendary creature, anything.
Okay. How old is Kisanandara? No idea. Is that a question about?
It
like-
might work. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Andrew, can I cast Legend Lore through Beacon to ask about Cathel and Zara and see what information I get back?
Yeah, just look up what the specifics on the spell are.
She is 532 years, 6
There you go, I
11
cast it.
hours, and 12 seconds.
It takes 10 minutes,
13.
so during the wind down of the meal and everybody's eating cheesecake, Hope will just be like whispering to her sword.
Uh-huh.
Throughout like all these like chats, kind of, it's not. You guys are all adults, and some of you are like old. There does still seem to be a slight like other side of the table that is like Stalwart and Gale and Russilon.
Yeah, we're like the kids'
Like-
side of the table.
like-
You are still
Oh, yeah, the
kind
kid
of the
table.
kids. You're on the kids' side of the table. They're on the parents' side of the table.
And
Um,
Marigold, Nute, and I are older than.
Yeah, we're all
the rest of the
definitely older.
people.
Oh yeah, you're 100% the older people here.
I'm
Um,
218.
Marigold is like 330 something.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Like-
old.
You is still young compared to
I'm not
yours.
gonna lie.
Yeah, you're
Mar-
pretty
He's
young.
156.
Yeah.
Like the
Marigold
people that
being
fought in the
herself.
in the first giant war weren't born yet when you were young. Like,
Yeah.
Like, but Marigold being herself probably flip flops between the parents and the kids' side of the table. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
but especially when you guys get going on your telling tales tangents. Stalwart's like it's just what like it takes moments of the dinner just quietly, just watching.
No idea.
With a slight kind of happy twinkle in the corner of his wrinkly eyes.
Oh.
But with the music still on in the background as desserts begin to come out, Hope, you whisper and beseech Beacon for information about Cathel and Zara, and it begins to whisper back.
Ooh!
And it tells you of in the early days after Petroluna, there are entire you see a flash of an image that is the entrance to a cave, and you see hundreds of people sprinting in full running towards this cave, all made of stone. Bright sunshine gleams down from above, and it just illuminates this herd of statues, all frozen, running for cover. And picking between them, you see a small, pale green reptile. Wings very thin, almost membrane-like.
Little baby Kai!
And you see a tiny Cathel and Zara.
Oh, so cute.
You see kind of a small group of people kind of resting flowers around individuals in these crowds. People that lost people to this, laying down early remembrances. And you get the impression that this tiny dragon was born very close to Petroluna itself, which would age her somewhere in the realm of 1,020 years.
You know what? She looked adorable as a baby. She's about 1,020 or so, so bit of an age gap for you two, but not too bad.
Yeah, that's pretty old, but I mean, I guess that's ancient that I'm gonna know. Fair.
Fall down.
Is that cheesecake, Nute, you were talking about? Is that the thing?
Yeah, this is cheesecake. My absolute favorite. This one's key lime. That one's white chocolate.
Oh.
And so really
Daddy,
cutting
those
it up and
slices
cutting it
are
up.
rather large for a man of your age.
You only live once, Hope, and I'd rather die a year earlier but die happy than die later but be a man that doesn't enjoy cheesecake.
Ah, finally,
I like
someone who
that
knows my
one.
language. And then Nute's just gonna dig into one of the cheesecakes as well.
Someone just said YOLO.
I like to think of the whole you only live once. Hemlock and Nute just kind of look at each other and then shrug and just dig into cheesecake.
Well, you live more than one now, you know what? Big.
But as desserts
I
come
think
around,
that's mostly Salwat saying, "Hey, I don't plan to die and be revived. I'm gonna eat all the cheesecake I want."
pretty much.
Soulguard, if I could have a chat with you all, après dinner in the parlour, I can play some harpsichord for us and we can have a little drink and a dance. You know, wine for those that want it, tea for others, but, I think I'm just going to go and get changed out of these silly dinner things, and I'll be back in a moment. And Hope's just gonna go put on her PJs props, guys.
I'll take more wine.
Alrighty. Wine and drinks are procured, and you guys eventually. Are you? Hope you aiming to meet everyone in the parlor?
Yeah, but not the parents. So I was giving people an
Right, okay.
opportunity to go chat to their parents if they wanted. I already chatted to mine. He's fine. He'll be all right.
Cool. Anything for anyone else before adjourning to the parlor?
Nope.
Nothing urgent.
All right. Some
Neat.
idle chat and catching up and talking about family business and what you guys have been up to. Eventually the time comes where the evening is drawing a little late, and Ruslan and Corella both a little bit tipsily decide, before I make too much of a fool of myself, I must thank Stalwart and all of you for inviting us. It's been an absolute pleasure. Markos, if you are around, obviously.
We are heading off on a slightly extended journey for the next little while.
Slightly extended the journey. Okay, fine, good.
I
Will
will.
you make sure you take lots of snacks?
Of course, Daphne.
Keep a journal so you remember where you've been and any important information. You always said that was a very important step, so you do it.
I love him.
All right. And they both stand up, put on their coats, shake everyone's hands. They give you a really big hug, Markos, and they make their way. You do catch, like, your mother is doing just fine. You do catch, as he's turning the corner, your dad, like, stumbles slightly to the side. And they head home. Gale also adjourns to the guest room, or at least so he says.
Secret entrance straight to a Star Wars room.
And the rest of you make your way to the parlor and find Hope in her PJs tinkling at the harpsichord.
Ding, 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 ding.
I
Hello.
mean, that's gross. I hope she would have used a chamber pot.
God damn it.
You gotta
Yeah.
slide fingers, do not plug them. I feel like it's fine. You know what? Just play with them.
Yeah, she's definitely playing like a very childish melody because she's not actually that proficient at the harpsichord, guys.
No.
Her mom taught her.
I'm sure it's just like, it's cute. You know, I don't just let
And like as you'll come in, she'll just be like, "Oh, yes, the drinks they're over here," and she
Nice, one more.
she's got a mage hand. Why doesn't she? How cool would that be? She has unseen servant. She's gonna cast an unseen servant through a fucking sword, guys, and it's gonna
Right.
serve us all fucking drinks. Hell yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So
Nice.
the cups will like float in the air and pour themselves and hand them around to all of you. So nice teas and wines are passed around.
So I've been doing a little thinking, a lot of thinking. Since we lost Maple, it's really changed my perspective on the whole Volm and Maldrin shenanigans, as your father so elegantly put it.
He's not a man of good words.
Oh no, it
It does not run in the family.
It was not sarcasm at all. Honestly. So it's a mess and there's no better word for it. I don't know that my place is best served alongside the five of you anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, I love this country and I love my brothers and I love my family, and Soraya offered me an opportunity to open a school of magic here and train people just like Nitwit, who is probably like fast asleep, his face in a bowl of milk on the floor. tiny fox-sized cheesecake. And I first thought, no, that's ridiculous. Why would I leave your side? And well, as one of our number has been ripped from our side so ungraciously, I've come to realize, well, how well you all cope when it isn't all six of us. How much the Soulguard can be scattered and we're still the Soulguard. And if this war with Voln, if this war with the undead is to be won, we need to muster up an army. Not just an army of riflemen, no matter how talented they may be, and she'll nod to Markos. But we need magic, and we need unknown arcane secrets that probably exist somewhere in that library, hidden for eons, and it is not... I think it's reckless for me to come with you when I could be doing so much more good here, in Maldrin and in Addagan. Protecting this country, keeping an eye on the Feyblade Hollow, and doing everything in my power to curb the enemies at our heels so that the five of you can chase the enemies far in the future.
But that means you won't get to meet my mom. You would have hated
Sure,
her.
when all this is over, I'm sure there'll be plenty of time to meet your mother.
You would have hated her. It would have been great. We could have.
For sure, there's probably a teleportation circle down there, right?
Yeah.
Oh goodness, if you find one, send me back a drawing. I can get there double quick time. I've got 26 lots of chalk or
But, like,
something
what-
now.
Where would that school be? Would it be like an Addagan?
I'll start with a small class and obviously keep this amongst ourselves, but just in the Arcanum itself.
Okay.
I would take a small group of those magically gifted or those who've been gifted for a long time and are in hiding, those that use spell books or their own lifeblood to cast their magics, and just see where we grow from there.
Well, you're not gonna leave the manor, are you?
Oh no, I'll keep Yalen Hall our home.
Okay, so it's,
Someone's got to pay the wages of the staff and whatnot, you know. I don't
Yeah.
know if you five would be any good at that.
so I guess it's just for moving around, I guess. It's not that
You're
bad.
not leaving. You're just not coming with.
Yeah.
Yes, I suppose. I'll always be part of the Soulguard, you know. I won't be more than a raven's wings away. You have all seen her use the figurine of wondrous power multiple times, guys.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she will have put the pin on her pajamas and tap her little pin. Doop, 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 doop.
Well, as sure as that pin is with you now, our hearts and minds always are as well.
Think to that.
And it wouldn't be sending off Hope Summerhold properly if we didn't have a few drinks and then a little sleepover up in my bedroom. I already pulled all the mattresses together. I wasn't really getting in my pajamas, it was all ruse.
Sleepovers sounds great.
I've pulled all the mattresses together on my old bedroom floor. I've shoved all my books and things to one side, and there's plenty of pillows for all of you, and we can all just hunker down. Willow too, don't tell Daddy I've let an animal in the house, but
Oh,
it
I
wouldn't
can
be a
bring out
sleepover without
snow.
cuddling up to Willow.
Yeah, I can bring out snow too.
I don't
but-
know. I honestly don't know if snow will fit in my
No,
bedroom. Like,
yeah,
Daddy
no, it
did give me
will.
the biggest
It will.
bedroom when I was a child, but I'm not sure snow will fit. Maybe if he's like in a small form, wolf cub rather than full wolf.
I could try
That
that.
would be so cute.
Like the same wolf, but just tiny. Yeah, I'll try that. Alright, I mean, it's. I'm not telling you I'm not surprised, but you know, whatever you feel is better. I understand giving your life for your country. I tried it,
Oh, bro, coming from you, damn.
you know.
Oh.
And maybe the aesthetic of like a teacher could really go well on you. So you know, maybe it's a great choice in the end.
Like,
We'll see.
It's
honestly.
still hoping the pencil skirt would look great.
What is Markos' dad still doing here?
If Ruslan had said that, he oh dear.
Oh,
No.
boy.
Oh dear.
Gonna need another enhanced
That was-
ability coming up.
That was a bad Ashura impression, not Rusalon.
And of course, me having a cushy life as an academic, locked away in a tower, just pencil pushing and trying to woo a princess means there's a lot of things I no longer need. And I don't think it would be pertinent for me to keep them. So well, you know me. I've put them all in little sparkly bags and whatnot, but they're yours for now to keep for as long as you need them. Here, and she hands out little goodie bags to each of you. Sorry, Andrew, I didn't pre-plan this, but it is just shit that's in my inventory. Don't worry.
I know.
And yeah, if you open them in turn, I will do them in my Discord order. Inside Hemlocks, there are 3 potion bottles. One are 2 potions of minor healing that I've just had on me for ages that I will no longer need. And one is the max damage potion that means if you drink it, all spells do max damage for a minute that Pendalian gave me that I was like gonna save
Nice.
for like Kaiser or something.
I believe it was
Thank
the next
you.
spell you do within a minute.
Okay, I can believe that.
I can't
That
believe-
sounds reasonable, although it would be cool if it was OP. I'm just saying. And then in Ashura's is right, I don't know how bad of an idea this is, but fuck it. She can cope.
Mm.
Is a gold necklace with a little green emerald that looks like a dragon's eye in. And I'll just be like, I think you're going to need her protection more than me. She didn't give me permission to give it to you, and I still don't know what it does. And if it kills you, I'm sorry. But if I run into her, I promise I'll smooth it over, you know?
I mean, I need to talk to her anyway, so at one point.
It's all yours.
Thank
She
you.
means far more to you on a personal level than she does to me.
Yeah, you pretty much hate her.
I don't hate her. Hope still doesn't believe it doesn't listen to her. So it's just like, I don't hate her, and does like inverted air quotes. But she's more of a mother to you than she ever was to me. And Markos opens his and it's the Shield Guardian amulet because I don't fucking need that shit, do I?
Yeah, it's
And
protection.
I activated it like a day ago, so he's probably like 20 minutes out of town by now. He'll probably be here by morning.
Terminator sprinting.
You have to attune to it, but once you've attuned, it's all yours, baby. Next is Marigold, and Marigold's yours feels light, and then you pull out like this swathe of like chainmail, and you're like, what? And it's because it's my elven chain shirt. You just get an elven chain shirt, and then underneath the elven chain is a really neatly folded stack of bunting for our cottage core cutie, so that you can put the bunting up in the tent if you wish. And then Hope is gonna like grab Nute because Nute has been in this story the longest now because Maple's not here. Ugh. And like take you out to the little porch out front where she left the chair you carved for her, and it's just gonna like sit in the chair you carved for her, and there will be another chair there for you, I assume. There's furniture at my house.
It's the one that Nute made for his like warforged body. Like it's a little bit big, but he manages.
And like I wanted to do this away from the others, and it's because what I've got to give to you isn't fancy and special, and I don't think it can do magic, and I don't think it's anything like that. I don't have magic sashes that make you punch. I'm really sorry. But I just wanted to give you this, and whoop, beep. And if you squirrel it open, there's a little silver figurine that looks like a raven, and she's like, that is so, if you ever need to talk to me, we've been friends now the longest, and I know you might want to talk to me on occasion. Just whisper your words to this thing, and it will find me, wherever. But also, and then you pull out the Book of Fairy Stories. And I just want you to have this. You're about to probably head into the Feywild at some point, and you're with Marigold now, and Marigold can teach you more than these silly little stories ever could, but learning to read through these together is one of the few calm and nice memories I have of the Soulguard, and I want you to treasure it wherever you go. So I want you to keep these and pass these stories on to any travelers in need of the joy that you've spread to me on your journeys ahead, Nute.
I'm just gonna bring you in for a big old hug.
Oh!
It's a big squeezy hug.
We're like actually okay heights to do this because I'm a short ass.
And after that, Nute will actually just say, I'm not one for taking without giving back, at least. Yeah, and he will take off the necklace of Erngem that he's been wearing, put it into your hand, and just say, this necklace is, it's something that means a lot to me. There's a lot of memories inside it, and I figured you're the one person who I'd want to have this.
Well, thank you. You know how much the Bloodborne mean to me, and I know how much this necklace means to you, and goodness, I get rid of one necklace and just gain another, it seems. Thank you. And she just clips it on. Boop.
Hopefully this one won't be so weird to wear, because the Zara one was a bit...
It's quite intense, isn't it? Just keep an
I think-
keep an eye on Ashura for me, please.
I think the kids call it problematic.
Oh.
I'm still learning the lingo a bit. I kind of had a big old 30-year gap of not knowing what's going on.
That's all right. Don't worry. You know, with the Soulguard, we can say whatever the fuck we want and get away with it. So, perhaps Lord Nute of Addagan, Lord Shinsakunin, may I have this dance?
Of course you may.
And if you
Wait a
guys
minute.
want, I want to just have like dances and a sleepover, and just do
And
that.
and
It'd
good
just be
fun.
nice.
During the dance when everyone's there, you will be like, wait a minute. Since I got the title when I was a Warforged, and now I've died and come back in the UK, do I still have the title?
Oh my goodness,
No.
we've talked about noble titles so much today. Yes, you're still a
Link.
lord.
No, it's linked to the body.
No, you
Oh.
inherit it
Body
from
that has
yourself.
Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, you are
Has
you
the-
are your next of
Buddy?
kin.
Am I my own next of kin?
Well,
You've been when you came back to life.
yeah. Were you next to the body when you came back to life? If not, whoever
No.
was the next to the body would be the next of kin.
I'm gonna leave this thinking to someone else. I'm not good at this.
I'm gonna say while Hope was outside, Hemlock has taken out one of her like travel little tea sets, and I'm gonna brewed up all of the tea that was Alizea's that Hope gave me when she gave back. And I'm not gonna brew all of it. I'm gonna brew half of it because when you drink the tea, you gain 1d6 hours of the bless spell.
Gonna be missing out on the dance.
I want to brew a little bit of it, not all of it, but I want to brew some of it. And I know, like, I've got 12 quantities of it, so I can brew a bit of it for people who want it. And I think I want to do it. I know it's, you know, I want to do it.
Oh,
Beautiful.
I'll brew some of it.
As the evening comes to a as quiet a close as dances and a sleepover can come to, it's a little bittersweet, but with gifts given and things said.
There's one more thing I very quickly want to do before we end as well. I think once we're done dancing, I'm gonna kind of go up to Hope when there's like a quiet moment. I'm gonna say, I wanted to get this framed, and before I gave it. So I'm sorry if it's not, you know, as presentable as it could be. But she'll reach into her journal, which is filled with like all of her drawings and all of her writings, and she'll pull out a drawing of the statuette of Astea that we found in the
Maple gave it to
Markos'
me after all.
yeah, and then I'll say, I'm sorry we couldn't get you the real thing, but I drew this and I want you to have it. So here, and she will hand it over.
I was flipping off Alex in chat saying he was making a major image of
Himself.
in Hope's room to be permanently there forever. I was not flipping you off. Hope's gonna take it and she will probably do a little golden Asima cry and hold it to her chest. But then she's gonna put a hand on your shoulder and like look up directly into your eyes and she'll be like, Hemlock, there is one final warning I have to give you, and I didn't. What's your sword called, Alex?
My sword is blood opal.
No, what's her name?
It's got
Kithala.
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 Yeah, Kithala.
Kithala warned me of something. Undeath comes in many forms, but at its core, the power for undeath doesn't come from many places. Undeath wishes all things to join it in a symbiote, in a system all united by their undyingness. And all of this, in its absolute original form, stems from Orcus Hemlock. And you are powerful, and you are good, and you are true, and I know you mean no harm by the things you do, but just please, please, in your coming adventures, please be careful.
I will, Hope. I promise.
Aw.
You know Hemlock don't break her promises.
I know Hemlock doesn't break her promises. That's where he just went, aww.
And I'm gonna do a big hug on you.
I'll do a big huggo buggo
And
back.
just give a little whisper in Elvish in your ear. Just, I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too.
Mm.
And we'll see her
Yeah.
back at the estate, but until then, I
Hey,
say
sure. Where have you been for the last 20 minutes? I saw you go upstairs, but
it's fine. It's fine. It's nothing much. Just don't look in the top left corner of your room. Top left corner of your room.
He's on the ceiling like a cryptid. That's so horrible.
Confronting Ashura is just there.
Oh god.
corner of your room.
Damn it.
But anyway, Shorty, we'll see you back at the estate tomorrow. Tomorrow we will leave, but afterwards we will see you back at the estate.
There will be a tomorrow
Yes.
in which you will see me,
Yes.
I'm sure.
Exactly. And then, after when we come back, and when we will tell you all about my mom and how horrible she can be, we'll see you back at the estate.
Oh.
Yeah, she's not a great mom.
I would also like to catch Hope at some point.
I'm
This
about.
isn't going to be long.
It's me house.
Yeah, I just want to catch her and be like, now, I don't have anything I can give you.
Oh, I wasn't expecting gifts. Goodness no.
And I know we haven't known each other for very long. But I just wanted you to know how much it means to me that you took care of Mabel.
Oh.
The only reason I felt safe staying in that house all the time I did is because people like you were with her.
And Marigold, I'm so sorry I couldn't be there to stop everything from happening. And I'm going to do my very best to make sure that never happens to anyone in Addagan ever again.
I can only hope in the future when we walk back through the doors of Yellen Hall and you are still there to greet us that we will be bringing her back with us. And she's gonna just roadcraft one maple leaf and like tuck it behind Hope's ear.
Oh, that's so fucking cute. Seriously cute.
Alrighty. As you all find your way to cozy duvet forts and pillow nests in Hope's room, and you chat and drink and probably bring snacks.
Cheesecakes.
And
Cheesecake.
into the early hours of the morning.
I love the idea that
I love
Salwa has
cheesecake.
like a whole fridge just for cheesecake.
If he's got
Yeah.
like an entire dedicated cheesecake pantry, you damn right that the current stealthiest person in the party is going down and getting more cheesecake.
Yeah, we're gonna rank
oh
them.
yeah.
Hey, guess what?
Everybody,
Everybody
you-
raised invisibility.
Pass
today.
without a trace.
You get down there completely unseen. You do find Stalwart down there in his nightgown,
We go with him. We're just
also
like,
taking one.
No.
He's not trying to hide himself. He's just stocking up for the night.
yeah, he's
Um,
just
It's like
the Lord
the
of
thing of like, you know, when you see your parents and you're like downstairs where you shouldn't be in the middle of the night, and we all just like freeze. And like,
and we're just
It's like-
acknowledging the presence, and we're just
Yeah,
like,
you didn't see anything.
But eventually, sleep comes to all of you. And that is where we will end tonight's session. And it's also where we'll end Chasing Tales for 2020. Because for the next 2 weeks we are off for I think, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve stuff. So thank you for watching and being with us so far this year. This has been a bit of a love project for a lot of us to have something to do. And we'll be back in the new year with more of this as the Soulguard
but
Unfortunately-
less of this.
Yeah.
Thank goodness we finally ditched the hang
Yeah,
of
that's it. Shorty is gone.
No! How dare you? How
The
dare
average height
you?
of the party has now gone up. Okay, that's it. What you care about.
Wait,
Second of all,
Bitch, my
I'm the
3'1"
most-
ass will always be there to drag that average down. You fucking bet it.
Second of all, okay, the the fashionista of the party has now gone back to who it should truly belong to, Ashura, right?
Me.
Wow.
That's it. That's it. So much space. So much.
This
Say that Marigold and Hemlock aren't serving cottagecore realness. You can fuck off. Excuse you.
But is it couture though?
Oh,
this group of
Cottage
bumblefucks
couture.
So it's
will be
handmade, darling.
oh.
this bunch of bumblefucks will be heading down to the Underdark to try and find the components needed to resurrect Maple and stop the evil Lich Queen Kaiser's plans. But before we get to that, there's Christmas and New Year. So thank you so much for being with us. Have a wonderful festive season. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we will see you guys for more Chasing Tales in the New Year.
Thanks, everybody.
I love
you for everything.
everyone.
I love you.
I love
Love
you
you
all.
too.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Have a good
Goodbye.
end of 2020.
Wiggle.
We go.